He didn't look carefully who started a conflict with the tall immortal king. Only an immortal king would have a conflict with an immortal king. He was an immortal emperor tertiary stage, and immortal kings were like insects to him. He didn't look carefully who started a conflict with the tall immortal king. Only an immortal king would have a conflict with an immortal king. He was an immortal emperor tertiary stage, and immortal kings were like insects to him. When he saw this person was Emo, he immediately knew this wasn't someone he could mess with. He had heard of Emo's ferocious name, and seen it with his own eyes. He even asked Emo questions. So it's sect leader Yi, Non Yen didn't see clearly. Emo looked more ordinary now, but Non Yen immortal emperor knew that Emo's power grew once again. Emo showed he was an immortal king, but who knew what his power was? Emo admitted himself that he hid a little of his power, but who knew how much that little amount was? Emo said plainly, I heard you say who dares to kill your Black Lightning Emperor sect member, so I am still shaking. Despite saying that, Emo's killing intent was soaring. Non Yen immortal emperor was very awkward. I didn't see things clearly. I believe sect leader you wouldn't take things seriously with a mere immortal king. It must be that my sect member offended sect leader Yi. If so, I won't let it go easily. Non Yen immortal emperor was awkward, but his words caught Emo. As long as his sect member didn't offend Emo first, then Emo can't really kill the immortal king in front of his face. Everyone was dazed. Not just Yu Xiang and Yu Xia, but even the tall immortal king opened his mouth wide in shock. What was going on? Non Yen immortal emperor was the strongest immortal emperor in Black Lightning Emperor sect. He was at the top of Jin Shang heaven. Who was Emo? A mere immortal king, and yet he dared to say such words in front of Non Yen immortal emperor. What shocked them more was Non Yen immortal emperor's reaction to such words. Was this how an immortal emperor tertiary stage talked to an immortal king? Was there some powerful backup Emo had? Even if sect leader Ye's backup was the 4 grand emperors, he can't be so rude to Non Yen immortal emperor. Emo sneered and his killing intent soared. Non Yen immortal emperor saw this and was more shocked. He didn't believe he could beat Emo. Although Emo and his dragon horse made Li Long immortal emperor back out, and he was a little stronger than Li Long immortal emperor, but who knows if Emo had new encounters these years. He had no confidence in beating Emo at all. Plus, Emo's sect also had immortal emperor tertiary stage. Plus, the 4 grand emperors weren't going to let Emo go. Why start conflict with Emo now? Seeing Emo's killing intent rise, Non Yen immortal emperor didn't dare to take things lightly. He yelled at the tall immortal king. What happened? If you dare to lie at all, I will turn you to dust. Seeing even his martial ancestor this concerned with Emo, how could the tall immortal king not know that Emo wasn't someone he could mess with? He quickly explained. Somehow immortal king and I saw in spirit seeking rabbit, so we chased it, but we lost it. When we found it again, we found she was roasting our rabbit, so... Emo thought they were just scamming Yu Xiang, but such thing actually existed. He subconsciously glanced at Yu Xiang. She woke up from the shock and quickly said, Sorry, Nuan wanted to eat that rabbit as soon as he saw it. Nuan was too fast and caught the rabbit. I helped Nuan roast it. I didn't expect it tasted so good, so I ate some too. Yu Xia, Emo and Non Yen immortal emperor had realized what happened. Yu Xiang indeed roasted the rabbit, but the rabbit didn't belong to the 2 immortal king, and they used this to stop Yu Xiang. Realizing this, Non Yen immortal emperor's face sunk. So you used this to rob her immortal range bear, is that so? Yes. The 2 immortal kings said shakily. My bear is an immortal range bear? Yu Xiang looked at her bear in shock. Non Yen immortal emperor could tell the 3 already knew each other, so he said to Yu Xiang. This is the fault of my sect members, please forgive. Yu Xiang knew Non Yen immortal emperor did this all because of Emo. She didn't dare to really accept the apology and quickly bowed with Yu Xiang. Master Non Yen, it's Wan Bei's martial sister being naughty. I don't dare to accept such apology. Non Yen nodded. Your immortal range bear's level is too low. It needs a lot of time to grow. I have a feeding manual here, have a look. Then, Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, threw a jade slip and Yu Xiang quickly caught it before bowing again. Sect Leader Yi, this is the wrong of my sect member. If you have any punishment, I will support it. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, saluted with his fists to Yemo again. Yemo didn't really intend to kill this Immortal King. Now that Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, said this, he saluted with his fists. Since Brother Nong Yen thinks it's fine, then this will do. Hurry up and piss off. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, yelled to the two Immortal Kings. The two had long wanted to go. They quickly bowed to Yemo and Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, before leaving. Haha, so Sect Leader Yi already made it out. I have been worrying. Brother He Chong has been worried about Brother Yi too. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, acted as though the incident before didn't happen at all and they were long-lost friends. Brother Nong Yen, how is my sect and Brother He Chong? Yemo asked. Brother He Chong is definitely fine, don't worry, Sect Leader Yi. Feng Kong Grand Emperor has been taking care of him. Perhaps it's better to find news from Feng Kong Grand Emperor. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor's words made Yemo's face sink. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, was old and cunning. Seeing Yemo's slight change in expression when he said high-level Immortal Spirit Herb, he immediately noticed what Yemo wanted. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, was old and cunning. Seeing Yemo's slight change in expression when he said high-level Immortal Spirit Herb, he immediately noticed what Yemo wanted. Nong Xie heard this, and although not daring to ask Yemo, she was very extremely shocked. Yemo was now not only Immortal King and didn't even fear Immortal Emperor. She even heard Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, call Yemo's sect leader, clearly meaning that Yemo started his own sect. On top of that, Yemo wasn't even scared of the four Grand Emperor, and his own sect had Immortal Emperor too. If this was shocking enough, Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor's words that Yemo was an Immortal Pill Grand Master just turned her world upside down. Those who could be called Immortal Pill Grand Master could at least concoct level 7 Immortal Pill. How long has it been since Yemo reached the Immortal Realm? Even if he was constantly concocting pills, he wouldn't be able to reach level 7 Immortal Pill Grand Master. Haha, okay, I will definitely go by Immortal Spirit Herb. Yemo laughed. It wasn't that he couldn't reach level 9 Immortal Pill Grand Master, but that he didn't have large amounts of level 9 Immortal Spirit Herbs. Without it, he couldn't practice it. It was fine that he couldn't go in the Jia Kui's secret realm. He could buy things from outside. With his current power, who would dare to stop him buying Immortal Spirit Herb? Reaching level 9 Immortal Pill Grand Master was extremely important to Yemo too. He had Emperor Carrot. If he didn't reach level 9 Immortal Pill Grand Master, he couldn't concoct Taiwei Emperor Return Pill. His cultivation level was stuck now, but if he reached Immortal Monarch Peak stage, the first thing he would do was to concoct the Emperor Pill. Plus, his Emperor Pill lacked a few supplementary Immortal Spirit Herbs. He needed to buy them too. Sect Leader Yi, I stay at Black Lightning Immortal Tower. If Sect Leader Yi just came, you can come stay there. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, invited. Yemo could tell that it was their own Immortal Tower. He waved his hand. I still have some business. We can meet when the secret realm opens again. Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, saw this and saluted with his fists before leaving. Since Yuxia was this familiar with Jia Kui's city, Yemo planned to ask her, so he didn't ask Nong Yen, Immortal Emperor, about the auction. Yemo, how did you suddenly reach Immortal King and you're not scared of Immortal Emperor? Yuxiang immediately asked. Yuxiang, I told you not to be so rude. Yuxia reproached. Yemo waved his hand to Yuxia. He didn't like people like her. He would rather talk more to Yuxiang. I just had some fortune. Yemo was then prepared to ask about Nie Shuangshuang. Yuxia seemed to know how Yemo felt and said without being asked. When I woke Nie Shuangshuang, I took her out once and she was taken away. Who is it? Yemo's face sunk. He thought that finding Yuxia meant he would be able to see Nie Shuangshuang easily. He didn't have to take her away, but he had to see her at least. Yuxia quickly explained. It's the Ice God Palace's second palace lord. She happened to come to Middle Heaven Domain and saw Nie Shuangshuang. She immediately wanted to take Nie Shuangshuang in as disciple. I didn't dare to say anything to the immortal god body, so I could only watch them take her away. At least Ice God Palace is an emperor sect. It's better than having Shuang Shuang stay with me. Ice God Palace? Yemo immediately thought of the conflicts between him and the Ice God Palace. He killed the palace Lord Langyin at the Heartless Sea. Plus, he got a small blue bead word in the Ice God Forbidden Grounds. There was an extremely beautiful woman in there called Xingru. Even now, Yemo still hasn't seen a woman with more perfect body than hers. Even Jinbingyu was at most on par with her. Thinking of Jinbingyu's perfect body, Yemo's heart rustled a bit. He shook his head. He had been with her for so long, and she even completely undressed in front of her, and said she was willing, but he rejected her. Now that she wasn't with him, he was instead missing her? Yuxia was a woman, and caught Yemo's daze in expression. She believed the two were lovers. Thinking about this, she said, "The 3 palace lords of the Ice God Palace are all immortal emperors. It's said there's also a grand immortal emperor. They're a top-level emperor sect in Qingwei Heaven." Ice God Palace is in Qingwei Heaven? Yemo asked in shock. Yuxia immediately answered. Ice God Palace is a complicated sect. They have sects in the low and middle heaven domain, but then they disappeared. Only the Grand Heaven Domain sect remains, and they rarely come out into the world. An emperor sect would have annihilated branches? Yemo asked in confusion. Yuxia explained. At first, they only took in female disciples, but later started to take in male disciples. Their cultivation method is very unique, and male and female disciples started to cultivate together, causing some complications. Yemo didn't ask, he knew this complications meant lust. The original Ice God Palace is sacred and clean, but because of this situation, it made Ice God Palace no different to Demon Joy sect. Due to this, internal conflicts erupted, and this caused Ice God Palace to weaken. Yuxia clearly knew this thing clearly and continued. After that, those elders who only wanted to take in female disciples left the Ice God Palace. Then, some powerful elders left, causing Ice God Palace to greatly weaken. Because their sect location was very good, the Ice God Palace was gradually annihilated in sect battles. The Ice God Palace in Qingwei Heaven was created by the elders who left? Yemo asked. Yuxia nodded. Yes, those elders took away 90% of Ice God Palace's cultivation methods and heritage and established a new Ice God Palace. When the original Ice God Palace perished for countless years, the new Ice God Palace came out, but the new one was immortal emperor level. No sect dared to underestimate them. They are now a powerful emperor sect that only takes in female disciples. Where is the Ice God Palace located? Yemo asked. He had decided to go to Ice God Palace after this. He needed to go to Qingwei Heaven to test that Feng Kong Grand Emperor. No one knows the location of the Ice God Palace. They only know it's on top of an ice mountain in Qingwei Heaven. They detest men, and it's said if men appeared near their sect they would be killed immediately. With their power, even Wei Feng Grand Emperor didn't want to say much. Yemo didn't ask about the Ice God Palace anymore. Do you know if there's an auction in the city? Yuxia breathed easy, seeing that Yemo didn't keep asking about the Ice God Palace. Because the Jiahui Secret Realm is about to open in a few days, today is the highest level auction in the city. Martial sister and I bought entrance tickets. It's said there aren't many things, but everything is the top level items. Yemo immediately realized that purple robes really went to every big auction. Tonight, he had to get that stone stool. Yemo gave an extreme grade immortal sword to Yuxia. Thanks for saving Shuang Shuang, this is for you. Then, he gave a jade bottle to Yuxiang. Hope you can reach Immortal King soon. And I need to go to the city now. After the secret realm opens, I'm going to buy Immortal Spirit Herb at the gate. If you get Immortal Spirit Herb inside, you can sell it to me. Then, Yemo turned and disappeared. Martial sister, why is this Yemo this wealthy? He casually gave you an extreme grade immortal artifact. I think he wants to thank you for saving that Nye Shuang Shuang? Yuxiang looked at the extreme grade immortal artifact in admiration. Martial sister, why is this Yemo this wealthy? He casually gave you an extreme grade immortal artifact. I think he wants to thank you for saving that Nye Shuang Shuang? Yu Xiang looked at the extreme-grade immortal artifact in admiration. Yu Xia's face went red. She said Yemo would stop at Golden Immortal and gave him some pills and measly amount of immortal crystals, but now Yemo gave her an extreme-grade immortal artifact. This was irony to the extreme. She didn't know that this extreme-grade immortal artifact to Yemo was about the same as 10,000 low-grade immortal crystals that she gave to Yemo. Instead, the thing Yemo gave Yu Xiang was more valuable. After admiring her martial sister's extreme-grade immortal artifact, Yu Xiang opened her jade bottle too. When she saw the immortal pill inside, she was dumbfounded and subconsciously exclaimed, "E-King pill?" Yu Xiang was also dazed. She quickly grabbed the jade bottle and found it was a E-King pill, a special grade 1. "Pack it up quickly, we need to go." Yu Xia subconsciously looked around and quickly grabbed Yu Xiang, followed the direction Yemo disappeared at. The biggest merchant tower in the Jiaque Immortal City was the Xianlan Merchant Tower. The square at its door was filled with people. The Jiaque Secret Realm was about to open. Many people came to participate in the auction, but its caliber was extremely high. The entrance fee was 100k. Many people didn't want to pay that much. That amount could be used to buy a lot of things. These immortals set up all sorts of stalls outside the merchant tower to trade things, forming a popular temporary marketplace. When Yemo came to the entrance, the ordinary tickets were sold out. Only 500k immortal crystals front row seats were left. As for rooms, they were bought out by the sects coming here. Yemo didn't care, he just paid 500k immortal crystals and bought a front row seats. He came to this auction only to buy that stone stool. Other than this, he wouldn't care about anything else. He would only buy if there was level 9 immortal spirit herb, but Yemo knew that this auction was before the opening of the secret realm, so there would probably be less immortal spirit herbs. 4 hours later, the auction commenced. Yemo went in first. He knew that if the purple-robed man was going to fish, the stone stool wouldn't be coming out later on. That purple-robed immortal emperor wasn't going to waste much time here for it. There almost wasn't much difference between the 500k ticket and 100k ticket. Only the seat was more front and had a few simple blinds. These blinds couldn't even stop spirit sense. The auction grounds were huge, people sat on all sides. The stage was at the center, and its area was huge. There were formations on the side. Just the ticket earnings for this time was 10 billion. Yemo knew he wouldn't be staying in here for long, but he didn't care. This was his first time sitting in the hall of an auction. If it was before, he wouldn't dare to do this. Sometimes power could save you a lot of trouble. If one left the auction in the hall during the middle, then almost everyone could see, but if you were in a room, no one would know. People entered the auction grounds in an orderly fashion. People rarely used spirit sense to scan around. No one coming to the auction was a simple character. They hated people scanning around with spirit sense. Yemo wasn't going to scan with his spirit sense. Since that purple-robed immortal emperor came to Jiaque Immortal City, he was probably here for the auction. 5 minutes later, everyone had come in and the gates closed. In the center was a seductive great eternity immortal. She didn't wear much, but her clothes wrapped her body perfectly. Immediately, she became the center of attention. "Thank you, Qian Bais, for coming to our Xianlan Merchant Tower for the auction. I'm the auctioneer for today, Han Yen." After this, an extremely powerful spirit sense swept the entire scene. This spirit sense scanned on Yemo, and Yemo immediately knew that this person was an immortal emperor tertiary stage. Everyone knew what this meant. There was an immortal emperor guarding this auction. Everyone on the auction had to follow the rules or suffer the consequences. But no one who came to the auction was stupid, no one would start trouble here. After that spirit sense wave, Han Yen smiled. "This auction will have a mysterious item. It's one of the top items in the entire immortal realm." Han Yen believed that everyone would want it after seeing it. After saying this, even Yemo wanted to know what it was. This woman really knew how to entice people. Just when everyone hoped for her to say what the item was, she changed her tone. "But this item will be coming later on. Please wait patiently, everyone." The first item of the auction today will be an Emperor Wood Blue fruit. This item is very hard to see in the immortal realm, and it can allow an immortal emperor to break through a level without no side effects. Han Yan's words immediately made some people excited, especially those immortal emperors and immortal monarchs. Even this fruit wasn't the top item. Just how amazing was that top item? Hearing this, Yemo was shocked. He didn't expect it to only be the start, and there to be such an item. There were some immortal emperors in the Grand Heaven Domain, but there weren't that many. One Heaven Domain had about 10 to 20. A powerful Heaven Domain would have no more than 50. What shocked Yemo the most was that someone recognized this fruit. He could recognize it due to Kai Mi's jade slip. Now that someone else recognized it too, then it meant other divine emperors saw this fruit. People started bidding immediately, and the bids clearly came from the rooms. The price soon reached 5 billion immortal crystals and an extreme grade immortal range. Even ordinary monarch sects wouldn't be able to afford this price, the extreme grade immortal range part. But Yemo knew that this price wasn't high for people who went to that palace. Eventually the price settled at that. This was mainly because Yemo took almost all the extreme grade immortal ranges off the immortal emperors. Now that these immortal emperor came back to the immortal realm, of course they would use the immortal ranges for their cultivation home and sect. Yemo was certain that this immortal emperor paying this extreme grade immortal range definitely came from the palace, or he wouldn't be this wealthy. I will be auctioning the second item now. The great eternity immortal female immortal purposely stopped for a while and gathered everyone's attention before she continued. The second item is a half-god artifact, a defensive one. Yao Lang Abyssal Missile. The starting price is 200 million immortal crystals. Each increment must be no less than 10 million. Then, the great eternity immortal female immortal raised a palm-sized seal. It had this faint mist surrounding it. It was obvious this seal wasn't ordinary. Yemo could see that too, but he didn't want to buy it. He had a broken octagonal cauldron. If he repaired it, it was a god artifact, and one much stronger than this seal. Then, the great eternity immortal female immortal raised a palm-sized seal. It had this faint mist surrounding it. It was obvious this seal wasn't ordinary. Yemo could see that too, but he didn't want to buy it. He had a broken octagonal cauldron. If he repaired it, it was a god artifact, and one much stronger than this seal. Many people bidded on this item, and the price soared from 200 million to 500 million, and was eventually bought by someone in a room. The subsequent items were all beyond Yemo's anticipation. Even he didn't expect the items would be of such high caliber. Although there were a few things Yemo wanted, he resisted the urge to buy. Before acquiring the stone stool, he didn't want to do anything to garner attention. Yemo noticed that the things were getting better and better, and clearly other people noticed this too. The auction was getting more and more heated. Level 8 runes, Level 8 immortal pill, and even one Level 9 beast core. Other people were getting more and more excited, but Yemo was getting more and more anxious. According to his estimates, the stone stool should be out now, but it was nowhere to be seen. Yemo thought about the man giving up on this fishing tactic. After all, it was no secret now, but this was the best method for him. Since there was such a huge auction here and the purple-robed man was here, why hasn't the stone stool appeared yet? If it wasn't that he might offend everyone, Yemo even wanted to scan all the rooms in this auction with his spirit sense. I believe everyone is very happy with this auction, but I need to tell everyone that the climax is just about to begin. The next item is the mysterious item I spoke about. Before I show it, please allow me to introduce it. This great eternity immortal female immortal used tactics to gather attention on her again before saying, everyone knows that in the immortal realm, what decides how high one can reach is whether they have a good cultivation method or not, and cultivation resources or fortunes. But these are secondary. I believe everyone knows the main reason. That's right, immortal spirit root. Without a good immortal spirit root, no matter how much resources and fortunes you have, you can't reach higher levels. Immortal spirit root is settled after conversion to immortal essence. Who can change it? Is there an item that can change immortal spirit root being auctioned? Someone asked immediately. When cultivators ascended to the immortal realm, their spirit root would convert to immortal spirit root. Usually, the element of the spirit root wouldn't change, but during the conversion process, many people would get impurities, causing a prodigy in the cultivation realm to become an ordinary person in the immortal realm. Of course, some people would get better immortal spirit root after the conversion. These people are highly sought after by the big sections. Although the immortal realm had treasures that changed immortal spirit root, they are rarer here compared to the cultivation realm. Not even immortal emperors may be able to get it, much less ordinary people. Even immortal emperors desperately needed things that could change their immortal spirit root. Seeing the atmosphere of the auction was at an all-time high, the great eternity immortal female immortal continued. The following item isn't an immortal spirit herb that can change immortal spirit root. Before people could ask, she continued. This is a prenatal immortal ice spirit root female immortal whose cultivation essence hasn't converted yet. With this, the auction erupted. Prenatal meant that this was a spirit root coming with birth. At the start, one couldn't see the cultivation speed of this spirit root, but after reaching disaster transformation state, the cultivation speed would suddenly skyrocket. After ascending to the immortal realm, the spirit root wouldn't change at all. It would only get more and more pure. Because this spirit root is immortal spirit root, after ascending to the immortal realm and the cultivation essence wasn't converted to immortal essence, the spirit root could be stolen. The way to do that was simple, just one dual cultivation. However, once the cultivator started cultivating immortal realm cultivation method and converted cultivation essence to immortal essence, this would no longer work. There were other ways of taking the prenatal immortal spirit roots, but dual cultivation was the most direct and simple way. One could imagine that if a cultivator took this prenatal immortal ice spirit root away, then even the worst spirit root immortal wouldn't have to worry about cultivation speed. With such spirit root, even if you didn't have much cultivation resources, there was hope of reaching Tao. The great eternity immortal female immortal suddenly waved her hand and a figure appeared next to her. An extremely beautiful woman wearing blue flowery dress appeared before everyone. Her face was pitiful, but she was clearly subjugated. Such a beautiful cultivator! Some people exclaimed. People already started asking about the price. The prenatal ice spirit root was already a huge surprise, and yet she was such a beautiful female immortal. Yemo knew all this too, and he was amazed that the auction could even obtain such a cultivator. But when Yemo saw the female immortal through the projection, his face changed. Without a thought, he torn open the formation at the auction stage and grabbed the female immortal into his arms while kicking away that great eternity immortal female immortal. This all happened in less than a second, and that great eternity immortal female immortal was kicked away spitting blood. How dare you start trouble at our Xianlan merchant tower, die! A cold voice sounded, and at the same time, a powerful immortal emperor domain came down. The immortal emperor tertiary stage pressure made all the immortals here feel hard to breath. Everyone used their cultivation method to defend against such pressure, while cursing Emo for being an idiot. Who didn't want good things? If people could rob things in an auction, then this world would be in chaos. All the good things would belong to the divine emperors. The immortal emperor didn't even attack Emo. Emo was a mere immortal king middle stage. He wasn't worth it. At this moment, the 4 immortal monarchs on the side had charged on the stage and attacked Emo. 1 immortal king middle stage, but 4 immortal monarch attacking together. One could see how tight this auction was. Emo sneered, his powerful immortal monarch domain expanded out, and at the same time, Zisu let out a purple ring. The ring flashed and 4 blood arrows flew on the stage before landing on the ground. Clap! 8 claps sounded, and the 4 immortal monarchs turned into 8 pieces of bodies. No essence spirit seeped out. Clearly their essence spirit was annihilated in that strike. The auction scene fell silent. No one made a sound. The people here weren't simple, there were many immortal monarchs and immortal emperor in the rooms. The auction scene fell silent. No one made a sound. The people here weren't simple, there were many immortal monarchs and immortal emperor in the rooms. But Yi Mo's strike silenced everyone, killing 4 immortal monarchs in just a few seconds. No matter how strong these immortal monarchs were, Yi Mo's strike was the pinnacle god art of the immortal realm. Even an immortal emperor was at most like this. People realized that this thing wasn't so simple. Clearly, it was an immortal emperor who killed the 4 immortal monarchs on the stage. He just hid his power to immortal king. There were some strange immortal emperors who didn't want rooms and instead sat in the hall. This was no strange thing. Some immortal emperors in the room had recognized Yi Mo. Many of them stayed in that palace with Yi Mo. They knew Yi Mo was hard to mess with and wasn't simple. Nong Yen immortal emperor saw Yi Mo too. He was surprised. Yi Mo was strong, but no matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to challenge a big guy like Xianlan Merchant Tower, right? They had 3 immortal emperors and a mysterious supporter. This immortal emperor tertiary stage of the Merchant Tower realized things didn't seem to be right. He immediately flew down to the stage. He was no idiot. He knew Yi Mo was no immortal king. Can an immortal king kill 4 immortal monarchs with one strike? This guy was not only not an immortal king but an immortal emperor who was no weaker than him, or maybe even stronger. I'm Xianlan Merchant Tower Sha Yu immortal emperor, who are you? Why are you starting trouble at our auction? Even if you're an immortal emperor peak, you will be held responsible for the incident today. The immortal emperor fell on the stage and asked. Yi Mo was an immortal emperor stronger than him. The later he attacked, the more it benefited him. He wasn't the only immortal emperor at the Merchant Tower, but because the caliber of this auction was too high, he came to guard here as he was the strongest. Yi Mo ignored this immortal emperor. When he saw this selling item was Tang Bei Wei, his fury was completely ignited. Even if the 4 grand emperors were here all in front of him, he would still kill, much less a Merchant Tower with a few immortal emperors. When Tang Bei Wei saw Yi Mo, there was only excitement and endless joy. Her nose felt sour and tears welled up in her eyes. There were thousands of things she wanted to say, but she couldn't speak a thing. Yi Mo instantly released Tang Beiwei's restriction when the immortal emperor spoke. Brother! Tang Beiwei ran into Yi Mo's arms. She could no longer hold her emotions and bitterness. She had been separated from Yi Mo for 200 years. She thought she would never be able to see her brother again. But when she was at her most helpless time, her brother appeared before her. She didn't care about all the eyes glancing at her. She was only thinking that if she could see her brother before she died, she would have no regrets. When Yi Mo really appeared before her, she thought it was an illusion. But feeling Yi Mo's arms, she knew this was real. Bei Wei, it's my fault, I didn't take care of you guys. Yi Mo felt very bad. Tang Bei Wei heard Yi Mo's voice and began crying out loud like a child. Finally, she found her family. Finally, she found a shoulder she could rely on. She could only keep crying to express her happiness and bitterness at the same time. This title made everyone realize what happened. No wonder this immortal emperor killed people in fury. The auction was selling his little sister. Could an immortal emperor's sister be sold at an auction? No immortal emperor would be able to take that. Those greedy glances at Tang Bei Wei immediately disappeared. Sha Yu immortal emperor dazed. He completely didn't understand why an immortal emperor still had a newly ascended little sister. This was too absurd. If they weren't real brothers and sisters, this female immortal wouldn't be able to express such genuine feelings. Sha Yu immortal emperor soon cast this thought aside and casually saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Dao friend, we didn't know we were selling your sister. We're very sorry about this, but we didn't capture her. Someone else captured her and sent her over. After seeing her you can pay our price and take her away, but you tore open our formation and killed 4 of our immortal monarch. Do you think you're the strongest in the immortal realm? We don't have many immortal emperors, but we have 3. Yi Mo took out a pill to Tang Bei Wei and said coldly, Xianlan Merchant Tower? That's in the past. From today on, there will be now Xianlan Merchant Tower in the immortal realm. If he didn't happen to see his sister being caught, her end would be tragic. Yi Mo didn't want to reason with Sha Yu immortal emperor. If he didn't have enough power, Sha Yu immortal emperor wasn't going to reason with him. Even so, he was asking for compensations. Hearing Yemo's words, Sha Yu Immortal Emperor was furious. His terrifying Immortal Emperor domain expanded. Yemo waved his hand and sent out Shadowless, who was talking shit in the Golden Page world. As soon as Shadowless came out, he opened his mouth and that powerful Grand Immortal Emperor domain was crippled. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor was shocked, but Yemo already punched over God Art Shatter Space. The terrifying lethal force whirlpool instantly swept the auction grounds. The sound of space tearing shook people's hearts. It was as though the next moment, this space would be crushed by Yemo. Some low-level immortals were spitting blood despite this God Art wasn't targeted at them. The immortals rushed out of the auction grounds out onto the square. Other than some immortals who didn't want trouble, most immortals stayed at the square. Who wanted to miss the grand battles between immortal emperors? Those immortal emperors in the rooms didn't leave, even some immortal monarchs didn't leave. They wanted to see this battle. When his domain was bit open by Shadowless, Sha Yu Immortal Emperor knew that if he didn't use Black Snow Return Life he was going to lose. This immortal emperor was stronger than him, but now there was an even more absurd immortal spirit beast who could devour domain. He didn't even know what this immortal spirit beast was. But now he didn't have the time to think. Yemo's shatter space was too terrifying. All the seats and blinds in here were torn to dust. Even the rooms upstairs were beginning to crack. In another second, they were pulverized too. These powders didn't fall on the ground and instead joined the lethal force whirlpool and smashed towards him. The people in the rooms retreated, but no one intervened, as that would mean helping Sha Yu Immortal Emperor attacking Yemo. Even those who didn't know Yemo didn't want to offend a powerful immortal emperor like Yemo now. Even people from the merchant tower started fleeing. His God Art lethal force whirlpool had been gathered within a certain range. Otherwise, with his current power, he could clap away the entire immortal city easily. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor felt the lethal force whirlpool was formed by 9 space lethal forces. When it swept over, he felt it wasn't 9 but 90 or 900. It had the power and madness to destroy everything. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor regretted a little, but he wasn't slow or retaliation. A black 3-cornered flag and a blue bell was released. There was this whimpering sound as soon as the black flag was released. Even Tang Bei Wei, who was protected completely by Yemo, began to daze. Those immortals outside couldn't stop this sound at all. Some people even stabbed into their chests with their own hands. Some immortal emperors could tell that Sha Yu Immortal Emperor's magic artifact was half-god artifact tendon-breaking twisted god flag. Once released, even some weak-willed immortal emperor would lose their minds for a short time. Some immortal emperors could tell that Sha Yu Immortal Emperor's magic artifact was half-god artifact tendon-breaking twisted god flag. Once released, even some weak-willed immortal emperor would lose their minds for a short time. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor used this flag to create a huge name for himself. More than a few immortal emperors had died in his hands. Sha Yu felt threatened by Yemo and didn't want to fight with him, but that wasn't because he was afraid of Yemo. His flag could control people's minds, and Yemo didn't look very old. Even if Yemo's power wasn't weak, his mind cultivation definitely wasn't adequate. However, what shocked him was that Yemo wasn't affected by the flag at all. Instead, the Shatter Space Fist Force was growing. At the same time, Yemo yelled, "Shadowless!" Without a need for this calling, Shadowless already opened his mouth and bit to the flag. The whimpering sounds immediately disappeared. However, the lethal force whirlpool became even more terrifying. When everyone had left this place, the merchant tower shook, and this grand merchant tower was swept in the lethal force whirlpool too, forming a terrifying flow striking towards Sha Yu Immortal Emperor. The immortals who retreated to the square immediately knew that Yemo intentionally gathered force and didn't release. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to leave at all. Rumble. Yemo's shatter space finally struck with Sha Yu Immortal Emperor's blue bell. A terrifying sound swept over the place. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor felt his blue bell pause, and he immediately knew things weren't good. Yemo's domain was more fierce than he had imagined. Meanwhile, his domain shattered due to Shadowless. Clank clank. Although the blue bell stopped the Shatterspace fist force, the blue bell was struck away under the pressure of Yemo's domain. The fist force was blocked, but the remaining lethal force whirlpool still struck Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor. In that instant, a huge ravine appeared below his feet. Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor, also spat many mouthfuls of blood. Thud. The merchant tower that was powdered by Yemo fell into the huge ravine. All the immortals on the square could hear the terrifying rumble and the flying dusts. A few watching Immortal Emperors waved their hands and the dust disappeared. Now, the audience finally saw that the previously erect merchant tower was suddenly gone. A ravine that wasn't completely filled up took its place. Just how many treasures would a merchant tower have, but it was now destroyed and buried underground. Sha Yu saw the extremely dimmed-down flag and was very shocked. He thought that even if he was no match for Yemo, the difference wasn't too great. But after that clash, he immediately knew that he was far weaker than this Immortal Emperor. Stop! Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor, immediately called out. Yemo acted as though he didn't hear it and said to Shadowless, "Shadowless, take care of Bei Wei." Then, he stepped in air and struck out Zisu. A 3,000-meter-long purple sword ray struck down. A ravine appeared in mid-air as though space was severed in half. The nearby space all fell into that ravine. Li Long, Immortal Emperor, knew that Yemo only hacked out less than 5% of his full power. He had seen Yemo's strike reach 30 kilometers, but now it was only 3 kilometers. Clearly Yemo didn't want to damage the Immortal City. Even so, the force of this purple sword rays made people nearby not even dare to look at it. Some low-powered people didn't even dare to scan their spirit sense. The sword force was still gathering, but the ground beneath had completely cracked and was getting deeper and wider. Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor's face was green. How could he not know that Yemo wanted to kill him? He was shocked and furious. He didn't understand how this random guy had no concerns at all killing an Immortal Emperor in the Immortal City. He was more furious that there were so many Immortal Emperors watching and no one came up. Even his best friend Demon Joy Sect Xian Feng, Immortal Emperor, pretended that he didn't see anything. The pressure from the purple sword ray was getting more and more terrifying, and his Immortal Emperor domain was beginning to cripple again. Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor, couldn't worry about other things now. His flag whimpered again, and in half a second, black snow flowers started raining. When everyone saw these black snow flowers, it was as though these snow didn't land on the ground but on their hearts. A few weaker level great immortals who stared at the battle didn't even make a sound and palmed the top of their head. The black snowflower didn't float into Tang Beiwei's sight yet, and Shadowless roared, devouring the snowflowers. Sizzling sounds arose. Those black snowflower looked weak, but when they landed on the powerful purple sword ray, the sword ray paused and even the space near it began to slow down. Yemo frowned. He didn't expect the black snowflowers would be able to do this. He felt this uneasiness feeling in his heart. A light wind blew past, and Yemo felt those black snowflowers slowly surround him. They carried this extremely melancholic whimper. In that instant, Yemo resonated with that feeling. These snow flowers should be white, but due to that endless sorrow, they became black. How could he hurt them? Yemo almost couldn't resist touching that black snow flower. He almost couldn't resist walking towards them. It was as though Qingxue, Luoying, Yemo and them were there. All the figures he had seen flew past him. "Hold me tight, I have mobility rune," Luoying said as she took him out of magical herb sect. "If I jump off, would you jump off with me?" It was Luo Xian. How was she now? Where was she? "Husband, I'll go wherever you go," Xiaoyan called. "Three birth eternal, the name is eternity." His immortal king naming. But why did he feel something was wrong? Just what was wrong? Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor's face was pale. When he used black snow return life, he saw Yemo daze. He saw that sword ray slow down. Yemo was slowly walking towards him as though he had lost his mind. There was a cruel look on Sha Yu, Immortal Emperor's face. A yellow beam shot out. "Little sister, wait, boss is in trouble." Shadowless immediately noticed something was wrong with Yemo. Yemo's killing intent on the sword ray was disappearing. This wasn't how the boss did things. Boss never showed mercy once he attacked. Shadowless flew in and bit down. The endless black snow immediately crippled, forming a black stream towards Shadowless's mouth. Crack! A spear ray appeared in Yemo's eyes. Yemo suddenly woke up. The three-birth chant flowed freely again too. The next moment, Yemo actually felt his cultivation level that hasn't risen after devouring countless immortal ranges rise. It was very slow, but he clearly felt that if it kept increasing, he would eventually reach Immortal Monarch peak stage. The next moment, Yemo actually felt his cultivation level that hasn't risen after devouring countless immortal ranges rise. It was very slow, but he clearly felt that if it kept increasing, he would eventually reach Immortal Monarch peak stage. Rumble. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor's yellow beam had reached Yemo's chest. Yemo didn't care at all and instead charged towards it. At the same time, Zisu's crevice lit up again. The 3 kilometers long purple crevice in the air smashed down with a terrifying black mark. Splurge. The crevice fell down from Sha Yu Immortal Emperor's brows and his eyes immediately dimmed down. He looked at Yemo unrelentingly but didn't want to fall. He didn't understand why Yemo didn't stop his lethal blow, and wanted to die with him. When the yellow beam exploded on Yemo's chest, can Yemo survive? Thud. At the same time, the yellow beam exploded on Yemo's chest. Yemo's clothes ripped, and marks of blood flew up. However, he didn't fall down like Sha Yu Immortal Emperor. The yellow beam just bloodied Yemo's chest but didn't pierce through. I understand. Sha Yu Immortal Emperor said before blood mist shot out of his forehead. He finally fell, and before his essence spirit could seep out, Shadowless ate it and threw a storage ring at Yemo. Brother! Tang Beiwei reacted and ran to Yemo. Yemo's chest looked bloody, but he was fine. I'm fine. Yemo patted Tang Beiwei's shoulder and ate another blue spirit essence pill while putting on a new set of clothes. Yemo didn't say much to Tang Beiwei as he knew more people from Xianlan Merchant Tower would come. But this time, it was 2 Immortal Emperor primary stage. One person hid amongst the crowd while the other charged towards him. The 2 Immortal Emperors saw Yemo hack open Sha Yu Immortal Emperor and Shadowless devouring the essence spirit. The Immortal Emperor appeared calm, but there was extreme shock in his eyes. Devouring an Immortal Emperor? What immortal spirit herb was this? Dao brother, why did you kill Sha Yu Immortal Emperor? If our Xianlan Merchant Tower offended you, were willing to compensate. Even if you're a divine emperor, you can't casually kill our Immortal Emperor like this. The Immortal Emperor primary stage said. After killing Sha Yu and turning the Xianlan Merchant Tower to dust, Yemo's anger was finally appeased a little. Kill Sha Yu Immortal Emperor? Little thing, you're too naive. Boss means that Xianlan Merchant will disappear forever. You dare to reproach him? Whatever, it's the last time you'll be doing it in your life. Shadowless laughed and sealed off the escape path of this Immortal Emperor. He was very satisfied to act so cool in front of so many people. The Immortal Emperor primary stage's face changed. He didn't expect Yemo to be this dominant. There were so many Immortal Emperors here, why did no one say anything? If they were so easily annihilated, they wouldn't survive till today. The Immortal Emperor primary stage glanced at the cold-faced Yemo and the greedy Shadowless, and his heart sunk. He didn't dare to ask Yemo anything and just looked at the watching Immortal Emperors and spoke. Xianlan Merchant Tower is about to be exterminated. Everyone here are Immortal Emperors, beings who stabilize the 33 Grand Heaven domains. Wu Ming really want to ask why no one has come out to uphold justice. Jingren Immortal Emperor was close to Yemo, so upon hearing this, he sneered. Your Xianlan Merchant Tower was selling Sect Leader Ye's little sister in the auction. Sect Leader Yi saved her, but Sha Yu Immortal Emperor asked for Sect Leader Yi to compensate. Wu Ming Immortal Emperor, you've reached Immortal Emperor for more than 10,000 years. Tell us how we should uphold justice? We should gang up on Sect Leader Yi and kill him to protect Xianlan Merchant Tower so you guys can keep auctioning his sister? Jingren Immortal Emperor's words immediately caused some laughter. Yemo collected a lot of immortal ranges in the dimension but also connected with some people. There were 6 or 7 immortal emperors from that palace here. Other than Li Long immortal emperor, the rest of them quite approved of Yemo. Wu Ming immortal emperor dazed, he didn't expect such things had happened. He only noticed Tang Beiwei next to Yemo now. He immediately recognized her now. What shocked Wu Ming the most wasn't Yemo killed Sha Yu immortal emperor, but Yemo gaining the formal support of Jingren immortal emperor. Anything could be said in 2 ways. It depends which side the supporters we retaking. If Jingren immortal emperor was supporting him, he would say that Yemo was being cocky and disrespecting the rules of the auction. Then he destroyed the merchant tower and killed an immortal emperor. This was seriously endangering the entire immortal realm. Wu Ming had realized the situation at stake and quickly saluted with his fists to Yemo. Sect Leader Yi, I was out and didn't know we offended Sect Leader Yi. Wu Ming is willing to apologize and give our most genuine apology. Wu Ming wanted to calm Yemo down first. How could things end like that after killing their immortal emperor and bringing down their merchant tower? Yemo was going to regret going against Xianlan merchant tower for a woman. Yemo said calmly. I said Xianlan merchant tower will disappear from now on. Second, compensate 100 level 9 immortal spirit herbs, 10 billion immortal crystals. The third is whoever sent my sister to Xianlan merchant tower, you guys must hand over the person to me. Wu Ming's face changed and said with trouble, Sha Yu immortal emperor's death is our fault. It's said that the power of an immortal emperor was so great that he could even destroy a heaven domain. The immortal emperor battle could turn countless immortal cities to ruins, but this young immortal emperor killed 2 immortal emperors in a row and contained it to only this square. This was even more shocking. It's said that the power of an immortal emperor was so great that he could even destroy a heaven domain. The immortal emperor battle could turn countless immortal cities to ruins, but this young immortal emperor killed 2 immortal emperors in a row and contained it to only this square. This was even more shocking. No one thought that this meant their god art wasn't strong. Instead, everyone knew that only extremely powerful people could gather the terrifying scattering immortal essence. Even those immortal emperors watching on the side didn't dare to believe it. No one was able to see the real power of Yemo due to that flag. Now that Yemo killed an immortal emperor primary stage with 1 strike and a punch, everyone immediately knew that his power was no weaker than any immortal emperor. No wonder he dared to be so cocky. Yu Xiang and Yu Xia had been watching Yemo ever since he started trouble. Until now, they finally realized why even known Yen immortal emperor was showing Yemo respect. This wasn't because Yemo had some grand emperor behind him, but he was a being not to be messed with himself. A cultivator who had just ascended for such a short time had grown to a being who could easily kill immortal emperor. Despite seeing with her own eyes, Yu Xia didn't dare to believe it. Remembering when she said Yemo would at most be a golden immortal, she felt embarrassed. The square was silent, but Yemo broke it and looked at another man and said, You should be the last immortal emperor of Xianlan Merchant Association, right? The man never came out, but he didn't expect Yemo already recognized him. He was just like Wu Ming immortal emperor primary stage. Although he was slightly stronger than Wu Ming, that was very limited. At the same time, he flew out and saluted with his fists to Yemo. His face was pale as he said, I'm the 3rd immortal emperor of Xianlan immortal emperor, Zhong Kong. I understand what you mean. Xianlan Merchant Association will no longer exist. There's 12 billion immortal crystals in here, but only 20 level 9 immortal spirit herbs. Then, Zhong Kong immortal emperor gave a storage ring to Yemo. Yemo scanned the storage ring and nodded. It was normal there wasn't that many level 9 immortal spirit herbs. After all, these things were rare in the immortal realm too. Since Zhong Kong immortal emperor took out this storage ring, it meant that he was the one managing the resources. Seeing Yemo take the storage ring but not talk, Zhong Kong saluted with his fists. It's Yuan Muxian who sent your sister here. He took an extreme-grade immortal range from the Merchant Association and a bottle of fire essence god water. Yuan Muxian? Yemo repeated in confusion. Zhong Kong immortal emperor nodded seriously. Yes, this person is called Yuan Muxian. Wu Ming didn't speak of his name before one was due to the strict rules of the Merchant Association, but more because this person was very cruel and vengeful. Wu Ming knew that if he said it, he would die for certain. Yemo dazed. Wu Ming wasn't scared of him killing Xiao Huaiyu Immortal Emperor. Why was he scared of that Yuan Muxian? Since Wu Ming Immortal Emperor was scared, why wasn't Zhong Kong Immortal Emperor scared? As though knowing what Yemo thought, Zhong Kong Immortal Emperor smiled bitterly. I'm going to die if I don't say it today. I might as well test my luck. Maybe that Yuan Muxian can't find me. This person's power is mysterious. No one knows what his cultivation level is. He once killed an Immortal Emperor tertiary stage, and he has a very powerful magic artifact called Clear Flow Vast Flame Bell. This is a magic artifact that can upgrade itself. He took the flame essence god water probably to upgrade it. Yemo knew this water. It was a treasure that was just below astral flame marrow in the fire element items. It can not only upgrade rare flames but also refine fire element magic artifact to be the top grade. If sect leader Yi has nothing else, I will be leaving now. Zhong Kong Immortal Emperor saluted with his fists. He knew he had to run away, as far as possible. Yemo nodded and gave a jade card to Zhong Kong Immortal Emperor. If that Yuan Muxian finds you, you can crush this jade card. Thank you, sect leader Yi. He knew this was beneficial to both him and Yemo. If Yuan Muxian came OT him, he would have to ask for help from Yemo. Meanwhile, Yemo wanted to find that Yuan Muxian too. Then, Zhong Kong Immortal Emperor disappeared. He had to hide. Sect leader Yi, long time no see. You seem better off than before. Jingren Immortal Emperor came up to greet. Yemo quickly saluted with his fists and said, Thank you, brother Jingren, for helping me with your words. Haha, I've seen sect leader Yi once long before. Nong Yen Immortal Emperor came up to greet too. Li Long Immortal Emperor had conflict with Yemo, so he turned to leave. The rest of the Immortal Emperors Yemo knew all came up to greet him. Some of the Immortal Emperors who didn't know Yemo also came up to connect with Yemo. Yemo briefly spoke with them before taking Tang Beiwei to an Immortal Rest Tower. The Immortal Rest Towers in the city were all packed, but when Yemo came, this Immortal Rest Tower immediately gave out the most luxurious room to Yemo. Yemo told this place to only give him one room. They really were tight on rooms. He didn't need two. There were many things he wanted to ask Tang Beiwei, and he needed to teach her to convert cultivation essence to immortal essence. There was one thing Yemo still didn't understand. He didn't see that purple-robed Immortal Emperor. This meant that the Immortal Emperor didn't send his stone stool to the auction. He didn't even go to the auction. Why else did he come to the Immortal City then? Brother! Tang Beiwei followed Yemo into the Immortal Rest Tower, and still couldn't contain her emotions. Yemo patted Tang Beiwei and let her sit down before asking, Beiwei, tell me about it. How many more people from MOU City have ascended to the Immortal Realm? Tang Beiwei calmed her mood. She reminisced to the first time she met with her brother, and him giving her a fireball rune in the room. After you left MOU City, we all worked very hard in cultivation, wanting to ascend to the Immortal Realm to meet up with you. My talent was very good, but later on it grew worse and I became the slowest. Sister Susu gave me more immortal crystals, but I was still very slow and getting slower. Sister Susu, perhaps you guys would have all ascended, but I would still be stuck. Even Sister Yangzhu is faster than me. I'm really useless. Tang Beiwei was very anxious seeing everyone cultivate faster and faster while she got slower. Luoying understood how Tang Beiwei felt and sighed. Beiwei, don't worry. Take it slow. That's the right path to cultivation. Yanzhu also comforted. Yes, don't worry, after all, very few people can have Jingwen's talent. But you're all disaster transformation state or truth realization state, but I'm still stuck in cauldron filling state. Sister Jinwen had ascended for so many years, Tang Beiwei said sadly. Tang Beiwei suddenly woke up from her reminiscence, and so did Yemo. He quickly grabbed Tang Beiwei and asked desperately, Beiwei, you're saying Jing has already ascended? Tang Beiwei suddenly woke up from her reminiscence, and so did Mo. He quickly grabbed Tang Beiwei and asked desperately, Beiwei, you're saying Jing has already ascended? Tang Beiwei nodded firmly. Yeah, Sister Jing Wen ascended a few decades earlier than me. Didn't you see her brother? Mo's heart sunk and said, I've been out all these years and just returned to the immortal realm. No, I have to go back to MOU Immortal Sect first. Mo was desperate. Tang Beiwei wasn't delivered to MOU Immortal City, would Su Jing Wen be delivered there? Plus, he didn't have the time to tell Lu Feng that MOU City cultivators would say they ascended from another continent. But Mo knew that it wasn't easy going back down to the low heaven domains unless he could take the teleportation formation down. That wasn't easy to get on. It wasn't just a matter of power but also status. Brother, did you establish that MOU Immortal Sect? Tang Beiwei asked. Mo nodded. Yes, after I set up MOU Immortal Sect in Gonghua Heaven, some things happened so I never went back. MOU Immortal Sect is quite strong so it should be fine. Tang Beiwei nodded. Brother, if Sister Jing Wen is at MOU Immortal Sect then we don't need to go back in a rush. If Sister Jing Wen isn't there, going back desperately can't solve the problem. Mo sighed, he realized this too. Beiwei, tell me how you appeared in Jiaque Immortal City? This is the Grand Heaven Domain. Tang Beiwei said. I don't know, after I ascended I appeared in this very barren valley. The immortal spirit chi there was so dense that I wanted to cultivate there immediately, but I was desperate about you so I wanted to find a place with people to ask where Gonghua Heaven was. Before I left the valley, I was stopped by someone who looked like a block of wood. Yuan Muxian? Mo asked in shock. Tang Beiwei shook her head. I don't know if that person is Yuan Muxian, but he looked like wood. The first thing he said when he saw me was, Prenatal Immortal Spirit Root? Haha, the Xianlan Merchant Association's Fire Essence God Water is mine. Then, he took me to Jiaque Immortal City. Did he take away the communication bead I gave you? Mo clenched his fist. If he saw this Yuan Muxian he would kill him for sure. As an immortal emperor, he attacked a newly ascended cultivator. Seeing Mo's fury, Tang Beiwei quickly pulled him and said, Brother, I'm fine now. If I didn't go to that auction I wouldn't be able to see you. My storage ring was taken away, there's a few fireball runes you made for me inside. To her, those fireball runes were very important. Mo sighed and patted her head. Beiwei, I'll make you some better ones, don't feel bad. Pausing for a moment, Mo continued asking. Beiwei, didn't you say your cultivation speed was slow? How did you suddenly cultivate fast? How are Susu, Qingxue and Yanzhu and them? Is Mo okay? Tang Beiwei nodded. I felt my cultivation speed was too slow so I left MOU City alone to find some opportunities for breakthrough. When I left, Mo was Truth Realization State Tertiary Stage. Susu and Qingxue were all Truth Realization State. Sister Yanzhu was slightly lower. They're all very well, don't worry brother. Sister Jingwen missed you too much so she ascended early. Mo nodded. Cultivation sometimes required fortune. When other people's fortune couldn't allow you to reach a higher level then you would have to go out and find your own. Then I came to a spirit marrow range. I used that to break through to disaster transformation state. However, after reaching disaster transformation state, my cultivation speed skyrocketed. In a few decades, I was Truth Realization State Peak Stage. I was going to go back to MOU City for Divine Damnation but I couldn't control my Divine Damnation and was forced to ascend. Mo was quite shocked and then asked, So that means Luo Ying and Qingxue and them don't know you have ascended? Yes, when I left MOU City, Sister Luo Ying was Truth Realization State Level 7, she's probably ascended now too. Tang Beiwei answered. Mo asked again. Do you know how long that Yuan Muxian took to bring you to Jiaque Immortal City? Tang Beiwei shook her head. I know nothing at all. When I woke up I was at Jiaque Immortal City. Mo wanted to judge from Tang Beiwei's words whether she ascended to Low Heaven Domain or Grand Heaven Domain. After a moment Mo said, Bei Wei, the place you ascended to might not be simple. Usually, cultivators would ascend to Immortal Ascension Palace, but you appeared in a valley. This might be related to where you ascended from. The two recounted their experiences, and soon one night had passed. Tang Beiwei's spirit root started to disappear as her cultivation level grew. Her current immortal spirit root was higher level. Emo taught her cultivation. When Tang Beiwei began her cultivation, Emo recounted when he fought with that black snow. If Shadowless didn't help, he would really be in danger. Theoretically, he cultivated under the bitter bamboo and had no heart demon. When he saw that black snow, he had some imaginations. It was far from heart demon, but it could be counted as a type. What confused him more was that when he woke up, his cultivation level loosened up a bit. Was it because he never had heart demon that his cultivation level was stuck? 2 days later, Emo took Tang Beiwei around in the city and bought her some clothes and other things. Wu Ming Immortal Emperor said there was someone else behind Xianlan Merchant Association, but Emo had been in the city for a few days and still no power came to him. Even the purple-robed man didn't come. Jia Kui's secret realm was very famous in Fendu Heaven. It's said that out of all the secret realms in the Grand Heaven domain, only Jia Kui's secret realm's entrance was in an immortal city. On the day of the opening, Emo brought Shadowless and Tang Beiwei to the entrance. It was filled with people here. Emo was famous in Jia Kui's Shadowless, and Shadowless was very eye-catching. This secret realm could only be entered by immortal kings, so there were quite some immortal kings here. However, Emo didn't get to see Li Kun, Ji Shu and them. He saw that Xiang Changyong. Xiang Changyong came from East Abyss Emperor sect, the same sect as Li Long Immortal Emperor. When Xiang Sihongyong saw Emo, he quickly lowered his head. He had been in the city for a while and clearly heard of Emo's matters. The dragon horse next to Emo exposed that Emo was the little guy at the small heaven domain. Emo came to the secret realm entrance and threw out a cultivation home immortal artifact before showing up a sign. The sign wrote buying level 8 and level 9 immortal spirit herb, can buy with immortal crystals or use immortal spirit herb to trade for any immortal pill below level 9. If someone else dared to set up this sign at the entrance, they would have been kicked away already, but when Emo set up this sign, a few big merchant associations came to greet him in friendly manner. People were contemptuous to this sign, but no one stood up against it. Trade for any pill below level 9. Who did Emo think he was? Only a few immortal emperors who knew Emo guessed that the words might be real. If Emo was a level 8 immortal pill Grand Master, then these words weren't absurd. Sect leader Yi. A purple-robed woman suddenly walked up to Emo and bowed. If Emo didn't see one jade card hanging off the belt of a female sect members with the words Geofan Immortal Pond, he really wouldn't know that this sect with just a few people was the Emperor's sect Geofan Immortal Pond. Knowing this, Emo ignored Wuhui Immortal Emperor and went towards them. These female sect members clearly don't know who Emo was, so too immediately stopped him when he came. They were a low-key sect and didn't care about outside matters, so it was normal they didn't know Emo. Geofan Immortal Pond prevents male immortals from going in. Xianbei, please stop. One round-faced Great Eternity Immortal stopped Emo. Emo saluted with his fists. I want to ask if Saint Yi is back. Is she in the sect or here? Huh? The two female immortal dazed. Who is looking for Saint Yi? A tired voice sounded. Emo didn't scan his spirit sense, but he knew the person speaking had suffered injuries to the sea of consciousness. I'm Emo, friends with Saint Yi this time. Before Emo finished, he was interrupted by a shocked voice. You're Emo? Jingxue, let him come in. You're saying Emo is your brother? Am I Yin Saint? Asked Tang Beiwei strangely. Yeah, he is my brother. Tang Beiwei nodded. Mian was wearing a face veil, but the condescension in her bones made Tang Beiwei not used to it. She didn't like talking to such women. Mian studied Tang Beiwei. Emo was very mysterious, but no matter what, there was no way his surname was Yi and his sister's name was Tang. His sister Eli Kun wasn't Yi named. This Emo liked to make sisters. Little girl, if you have nothing to do, then go back, This isn't a place you should be trying to get close to Big Boss. Let me tell you, Boss has close ties with someone called Mu Xiaoyan. You can save your effort. Shadowless felt Mi Yun's condescending attitude to Tang Bei Wei and felt very annoyed. Mi Yun's face burned with embarrassment. She didn't mean exactly what Shadowless said, but she was trying to connect better with Emo. She had long heard of Shadowless. This was a guy who could devour immortal Emperor God art and domain. Who would dare to offend him? Sister Bei Wei, I'll be going first. If you're free, come to Ethereal Immortal Pond. I will welcome you greatly, Mi Yun quickly said. Tang Bei Wei wanted her to go. She didn't want such a woman walking around brother. The sisters weren't here, what if she seduced her brother? But when she heard the words Ethereal Immortal Pond, she was dazed. You're from Ethereal Immortal Pond? Tang Bei Wei asked in shock. Mi Yun Saint nodded. Yeah, I am. What's wrong? My sister used to be from Ethereal Immortal Pond, Tang Bei Wei said and felt embarrassed. Qinxue was only at an 8-star sect in the cultivation realm. Meanwhile, this Mi Yun was an immortal king. The difference was huge. Huh, your sister is from Ethereal Immortal Pond? Which dimension? Mi Yun showed a joyful expression. Tang Bei Wei didn't expect Ethereal Immortal Pond had different branches in different realms and said with embarrassment. Sister Qinxue just stayed in Ethereal Immortal Pond for a few years and my brother took her away. Just when Mi Yun wanted to speak, she sensed her master's message and quickly said to her, Bei Wei, my master is calling me over. I'm going first, we'll talk when we're free. After Mi Yun Saint left, Shadowless gloated. See, this woman ran away as soon as I scorned at her. Next time if there's anything, just ask for my help. There's nothing I can't get done. I only need to open my mouth. The mysterious Shadowless in Tang Bei Wei's eyes suddenly seemed not so reliable, but thinking about how Shadowless really did help Emo, she said politely. Thank you very much, Brother Shadowless. Hearing this, Shadowless said happily. Remember, when Boss is here just call me Shadowless. If Boss isn't here, call me whatever you want, hee. There were black lines running down Tang Bei Wei's head. This Shadowless really wasn't very reliable. Shadowless didn't know that Tang Bei Wei's impression of him completely changed and kept saying, Little sister, Boss treats you really well. You see that old man Wu Hui? He hunted Boss for a few months, but Boss still didn't kill him. That bullshit merchant association offended you. Boss killed 2 immortal emperors and decimated the merchant association. If that Wu Hui hunted you for 2 months, Boss would have already killed him. Look at how nice Boss is to you. Tang Bei Wei was touched, but hearing Wu Hui hunting Emo, she was shook. My brother was hunted? What is this? It's all too normal that Boss was hunted. It's not once or twice, but I heard this from Small Ginseng. Small Ginseng is too useless. If it was me, I would have chomped and then hee. Shadowless bluffed since both Small Ginseng and Emo weren't here. You're the Emo that asked the sect to save after coming back? A tired voice asked. You're the Emo that asked the sect to save after coming back? A tired voice asked. This was just an immortal monarch tertiary stage female immortal. Her looks were very pretty, but the deep look in her eyes showed she wasn't young. There were 6 female immortals standing on her side. 3 were immortal king and 3 were great eternity immortal tertiary stage. Yes, I'm Emo. Went with me to Wujia Sound River. I asked Wujia Sound River just then. They said he came back, so I came to ask if she's really back. Emo didn't know what the relationship between EY and this immortal monarch was, so he was very polite. This female immortal clearly didn't know what Emo did. Emo studied her, but she studied Emo at the same time. After a while, she said, You're so young and you can reach immortal king middle stage. It's not bad, sigh, what a pity. Emo frowned. He didn't understand what she meant, but he didn't say anything. This immortal monarch kept talking. No wonder he thought of you as a friend. You dared to come search for her in such a place. Emo, reaching immortal king means your talent is quite good. Listen to me, leave quickly. The earlier the better. As for that Jacques secret realm, I suggest you don't go. There are many good things inside, but they don't belong to you. Even if you come out from inside, you might not be able to take it, much less you might not even be able to go in. Emo dazed, but he immediately understood what she meant. I just want to ask about Saint E. I don't care about other things. Plus, I didn't plan on going in. Emo said again. The female immortal shook her head. When E came back from Wujia Sound River, she asked the immortal emperor of the sect to save you. The sect objected and was even going to take her saint status. However, the sect leader protected her and even went with her to Wujia Sound River. Emo was very grateful. Wujia Sound River had 4 immortal emperors. They had more immortal emperors and stronger immortal emperors than Jiufan Immortal Pond. Under such circumstance, the sect leader still dared to go to Wujia Sound River to speak for him. One could see that the sect leader treated Yi really well. Pity, sect leader Luan Xiao just took Yi to the sect entrance and encountered the number 1 ancestor of Wujia Sound River, Wuhua Immortal Emperor Sang Qi. He just came back to the sect. He wasn't going to reason with anyone and beat sect leader to heavy injury. Luckily, sect leader had a powerful mobility technique and escaped. However, Wuhua kept chasing. The female immortal said tiredly. Emo was shook. He didn't expect this to have affected Yi's master. The sect leader was hunted by Wuhua Immortal Emperor and left Yu heaven. The other 2 immortal emperors of the sect were furious. They reproached the sect leader and captured Yi. They abolished her power and locked her up in the Jiufan Immortal Pond's Earth Abyss Fire Pond. Sigh. The female immortal looked at Emo and said, It's quite good that you can even come and ask about her. No wonder she helped you. You should leave quickly. Once you reach Immortal Emperor, just help Yi and I would be very grateful. Old bastard. Emo clenched his fists and cursed in fury. The immortal monarch dazed. She didn't expect an immortal king dared to curse an immortal emperor. But she was much more calm-mannered and said, You should quickly go. Wujia Sound River's Wuhui Immortal Emperor came. If he sees you, you would be over. I'm going to settle things with Wuhui, that old bastard. Emo blamed this all on Wuhui. If it wasn't him, there wouldn't be all that trouble. You're crazy. The female immortal got up and said in shock. Emo didn't answer her, his face was bleak. The next moment, he dashed out of the room. The female immortal saw this and followed Emo out. What happened? Emo didn't even have time to find Wuhui and landed next to Tang Beiwei. Her face was bad and there was blood in his cultivation home. Seeing Emo come over, Tang Beiwei quickly said, Brother, this person came and was going to capture Shadowless. But Shadowless ate his arm. Yes, boss, this guy tried to capture me. If it wasn't for that old bastard, I would have killed him already. Shadowless quickly said. That immortal king had lost an arm, there was a black mark on his face. Emo studied this guy while Shadowless sound transmission to Emo. Boss, this guy with the mark is the one who sliced off Small Ginseng's arm. I was going to eat him, but that immortal monarch acted me over and stopped me. So it's the animal you raised. This immortal monarch saw Emo was just an immortal king, and his tone grew rude. He waited till now because he was scared Tang Beiwei and Shadowless had big origins. If he knew Emo was just an immortal king, he would have attacked already. You're Emo? The immortal king with the black mark recognized Emo. He came with his sect to here late and didn't know about what Emo did. Last time he knew on the immortal ship towards Qinwei Heaven that Emo killed his demon Joy sect immortal king and robbed Hua Rishua's pill cauldron. He wasn't going to let this guy go. Who are you? Emo asked. The king here is Demon Joy Sect Lu Ju. Emo, your pet injured me. I want to see who can help you. Lu Ju said happily. Demon Joy Sect, I know. I killed an immortal king last time. Are there more for me to slaughter today? Shadowless eat him. Emo said. Shadowless was waiting for this. He couldn't hold out any longer. If he killed this Lu Ju, he would have gotten revenge for Small Ginseng. By then, Small Ginseng would happily call him Big Brother. The immortal monarch from Jiufan Immortal Pond heard Emo order his pet to eat the immortal king and quickly came up. Wait. Boss. Shadowless subconsciously looked at Emo. Boss just came from where this woman came from. Before Emo spoke, this immortal monarch laughed. Haha, I see you have seen arrogant people but never someone as cocky as you. You dare to order your pet to eat my demon joy sect immortal king? Do you think you're a divine emperor or an emperor sect ancestor? As he spoke, his immortal monarch power rose. A terrifying killing intent swept over, but soon, he noticed something wrong because other than the Geofan immortal pond immortal monarch telling Emo to not fight, everyone else was watching. No one scorned this little immortal king middle stage with him. He had reached immortal monarch after countless years. He was cunning like a 10,000-year-old fox. He instantly realized the scene. Then, he saw the big sign at Yemo's cultivation home and his heart went cold. If Yemo was simple, would he dare to place such sign there without anyone stopping him? Now, his powerful killing intent was stopped in front of Yemo. He even felt it sweeping back. Shadowless, eat him too. If it was some other sect he would be reasonable, but for Demon Joy sect, never mind. He almost died to a Demon Joy sect immortal king, and there was conflict between them. Wait. This immortal monarch instead saluted with his fists to the female immortal monarch. Xiangji martial sister, do you know this Emo? Geofan immortal pond was on par with Demon Joy sect. He needed to use an excuse to get things clear. Xiangji was confused too and couldn't react, seeing that this immortal monarch consulted her instead when Emo ordered his pet to eat him. Shadowless wasn't going to wait. He opened his mouth and bit at Lu Ju. Wait. Wait. This was the third time Emo heard this in a short while. Emo said nothing, but Shadowless stopped. Shadowless knew that with this person here, he wouldn't be able to eat this immortal king. Xian Feng Qian Bei. Xiangji immortal monarch saw this person and greeted. It was Xian Feng immortal emperor from Demon Joy sect. He came a little late. Most Demon Joy sect disciples just reached Xia Kui immortal city today. They clearly didn't know about Emo. Xian Feng immortal emperor just simply greeted Xiangji immortal monarch and saluted with his fists to Emo. Sect leader Yi, why are you letting your pet eat my sect members for no reason? Emo sneered. No reason? Which eye of yours did you see with that I did this for no reason? Shadowless, tell this old guy what happened. Are you doing this without reason? In fact, he had long seen Xian Feng immortal emperor come. If this old guy kept coming slowly, Shadowless would really eat these two. He wasn't going to go easy on Demon Joy sect, but since this old guy was here, he didn't want to make the situation too bad. Xiangji immortal monarch was already very shocked that Xian Feng immortal emperor didn't attack immediately, and instead saluted with his fists to Emo politely. Now that Emo called him old guy, Xian Feng immortal emperor didn't even get angry. He just had a bleak face. Shadowless heard this and immediately said bitterly, Boss, I was chatting with Beiwei talking about some interesting stuff. Then, this immortal king came to bully me and wanted to abduct me. I was so scared that I bit, and accidentally bit off his arm. If you didn't come quick, Beiwei and I would have been beaten to death by Taste too. Tang Beiwei looked dazedly at Shadowless and finally realized what shamelessness was. Lu Ju came to grab Shadowless, but from the beginning to the end, Shadowless was extremely excited. He didn't seem scared at all. Where did brother get such a shameless immortal pet? Lu Ju and that immortal monarch was also dumbfounded. Lu Ju wasn't surprised at Shadowless's words. He had seen how shameless Shadowless can be. At the small heaven domain, when they were about to break the second formation, Shadowless said his stomach hurt. What he was dazed at was that Xian Feng immortal emperor was the ancestor of the sect. Why was he so polite to an immortal king? Is that what happened? Xian Feng immortal emperor's face went bleak. He was angry at Emo but also at Lu Ju. Why did he have to mess with Emo? Martial ancestor, this dragon horse is the dragon horse that appeared at the small heaven domain last time, so... Before Lu Ju finished, Xian Feng immortal emperor said coldly. So you think everyone else is blind? Only you can see that it's a dragon horse? Lu Ju was shocked when he saw Shadowless and furious when his arm was bitten off. Now that he calmed down, he immediately realized that things were really so. Many people saw the dragon horse, but no one came up to say anything. Yusu, immortal monarch's heart sunk and rejoiced that he realized in time and deigned attack. Otherwise, things wouldn't be so easy. Xian Feng saluted with his fists to Yemo again. Sect leader Yi, my sect members offended you first, I apologize. Before Xian Feng immortal emperor finished, Yemo knew what he meant and waved his hand. I want level 9 immortal spirit herb. Lu Ju had calmed down now. Hearing this, he quickly bowed. If Lu Ju gets level 9 immortal spirit herb in the secret realm, I will give it all to sect leader Yi. Yemo sneered. I don't want all of it. Just give me 70% of level 9 immortal spirit herb, you can keep the rest. If I find your level 9 immortal spirit herb is less than most people, then don't blame me. Yemo wasn't that nice to leave 30% to him, but he knew that if he left nothing to Lu Ju it wasn't plausible. Lu Ju was scared of him now, but inside the secret realm, if he couldn't get anything, he wouldn't even try hard. Yes, I will do it. Lu Ju clearly knew what Yemo meant and nodded. Now that things were decided, Xian Feng immortal emperor immediately took Lu Ju and Yusu away. In the distance, Huarushua and Huayushua saw this and were speechless. Huarushua came earlier and knew what Yemo did. She knew that getting revenge from Yemo was going to be delayed indefinitely or never. Seeing Xian Feng immortal emperor take the sect members away fleeing, Xiang Ji immortal monarch looked at Yemo for a while before asking in confusion. Yemo, why is Xian Feng immortal emperor scared of you? Pfft, why do you even ask such questions? Of course he's scared that boss will kill him, Shadowless said in contempt. Even as cool as him, he's scared of being roasted and eaten by boss. Kill him? Xiang Ji immortal monarch was more confused. How does an immortal king kill an immortal emperor? Yemo didn't care about her confusion. She walked towards Wujia Sound River again. It seemed that Yemo really was doing as he said, looking for trouble with Wuhui. Xiang Ji immortal monarch was getting more confused and just subconsciously followed Yemo. Wuhui saw Lu Ju look for trouble with Shadowless, but he didn't speak up about it intentionally just so Yemo can have conflict with Demon Joy sect. However, Xian Feng immortal emperor came back in time and the conflict didn't happen. He was greatly disappointed. But then he noticed something wrong. Yemo was walking towards him. He immediately frowned. He wasn't the only one who didn't remind Demon Joy sect. Why did Yemo come to him? Sect leader Yi, is there anything else? Wuhui casually saluted with his fists, and said coldly. He looked cold but his heart was abating fast. He knew that Yemo was a madman. Only perhaps the Grand Emperors could stop him, but none of them were here. Is Sangchi back? Yemo asked directly. Wuhui didn't expect Yemo to ask about Wujia Sound River ancestor, but he saw the immortal monarch behind Yemo and immediately knew what Yemo meant. He then said, The ancestor isn't back. I don't know about his business. Humph, your Wujia Sound River is set on acting against me? Locking up Xiaoyun and then hunting my friend and her master. Do you think I don't dare to annihilate Wujia Sound River? Everyone nearby heard Yemo's furious voice. The scene immediately became silent. Xian Feng immortal emperor saw this and was overjoyed. To him, Yemo was a mad dog. Fighting Wujia River was the best thing. Everyone was shocked because it was taboo to casually speak about annihilating a sect, much less an emperor sect. Yemo knew this was taboo of course, but he didn't care. The conflict between him and the Wujia Sound River was much more beyond Demon Joy sect. Wuyin immortal emperor imprisoned Mu Xiaoyun. Wuhua ancestor heavily injured Yuai's master and hunted her. He was definitely going to kill Wu Ying, and that was going to create enmity between him and the sect. With his current power, he didn't need to take it, his cultivation level was loosening up. Hearing this, Wuhui immortal emperor's face changed and he sneered. Our Wujia Sound River has existed for countless thousands of years. It's not something that can be annihilated by anyone. Plus sect leader Yi is a sect leader, don't you know it's taboo to annihilate a sect? Oh, why didn't Wu Ying know it's taboo to capture Xiaoyun? Yemo sneered. Wuhui calmed down and said, "Sect leader Yi, Wuhua is an ancestor of our sect, but he never manages the sect. Wu Ying also never manages anything. Instead, it's always Martial Brother Wu Yu and me managing the sect. There's a source to your conflict. If you seek trouble with the two ancestors, Wujia Sound River will definitely not say anything. Who is seeking trouble with the two immortal emperor ancestors of Wujia Sound River?" A voice sounded and one man landed. Seeing this figure, the atmosphere became even more silent. Yumo's eyes narrowed. He knew this person. It could be said to be the most respected person here, Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor. He has the title of Grand Emperor. He had heard a lot about Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, and have seen this person before, but Yemo looked down on this Immortal Emperor. This guy joined up more than 10 Immortal Emperor to attack Wushuang Immortal Emperor. Not only did he not kill Wushuang Immortal Emperor, but let Wushuang Immortal Emperor kill 9 Immortal Emperors, and he was heavily injured himself. He had heard a lot about Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, and have seen this person before, but Yemo looked down on this Immortal Emperor. This guy joined up more than 10 Immortal Emperor to attack Wushuang Immortal Emperor. Not only did he not kill Wushuang Immortal Emperor, but let Wushuang Immortal Emperor kill 9 Immortal Emperors, and he was heavily injured himself. According to what Jinbingyu said, Yemo guessed that this Wei Feng Immortal Emperor was probably a cunning and bleak character. Otherwise, he wouldn't invite Wushuang and then accidentally let him see his previous woman. Wuhui Immortal Emperor breathed easy. Finally a Grand Emperor came. Things would be much easier now. "Your Yemo, you killed 2 Immortal Emperors from Xianlan Merchant Association and closed the Merchant Association?" Wei Feng asked without waiting for Wuhui Immortal Emperor to explain. Clearly he knew who Yemo was before he came. Yemo looked down on such Immortal Emperor. Although he almost died in Wushuang Immortal Emperor's Sea of Consciousness, it didn't mean he would stand on the same line as Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Now Wei Feng Immortal Emperor spoke in a condescending manner to him as though he was the master of everything and he was a convict waiting to be judged. When Wei Feng Immortal Emperor came over, everyone watched here. Xiangji Immortal Monarch standing behind Yemo also saw Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. She immediately knew things weren't so simple now. She didn't dare to greet Wei Feng Immortal Emperor, but when she heard what Wei Feng Immortal Emperor said, she looked at Yemo in extreme shock. No wonder so many Immortal Emperors looked at Yemo with troubled look. Yemo did such things in Jiahui Immortal City. If it didn't come out from Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's mouth, she would have thought she heard wrong. "That's right, I did it," Yemo said calmly. He was thinking about his chances of winning. There were Immortal Emperors on the side. How many would go help Wei Feng Immortal Emperor? But Yemo rejoiced that he was decisive in dealing with Xianlan Merchant Association. Only that would make people concerned. When Wei Feng Immortal Emperor attacked, as long as he didn't get the complete upper hand, not many people would be helping him. "Haha, good courage, the Wan Bais are astounding." Wei Feng smiled, but in his heart he was furious. He wasn't furious that Yemo annihilated Xianlan Merchant Association, but Yemo as a Wan Bei didn't bow to him nor greet him. He was too rude. Wei Feng was more disappointed that no one came out to reproach Yemo for disrespect. He thought about it, and immediately understood why. Yemo was so crazy towards Xianlan Merchant Association. As long as Yemo didn't die, no one would stand up openly against him. It seems that people were almost forgetting about him since he hasn't killed in recent years. "Do you think you know a few god arts, so you think all the reason in the world is in your hands? Even if Xianlan Merchant Association is wrong, it's not up to you to eradicate them. If everyone kills Immortal Emperor casually just because they're strong, then the immortal realm would be in chaos? Since the Emperor saw you, you shall come with the Emperor to Qingwei Heaven." Then, Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's power rose. He could see that Yemo hid his power, but he could also see that Yemo didn't reach Immortal Emperor. He didn't know Yemo's exact power, but he was at most an Immortal Monarch. As the violent Immortal Emperor peak stage domain swept out, Xiangji Immortal Monarch was swept away by this overwhelming power unprepared. The nearby immortals also moved away. Soon, there was just Yemo facing Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Xiangji Immortal Monarch stopped and saw Yemo's immortal pet. Shadowless could tell that boss would have it tough facing against this guy. Shadowless quickly said to Xiangji, "Hey, take care of little sister Bei Wei. I'm going to help boss teach this old bastard a lesson." Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's domain started in a wave and expanded to the vast ocean. But Yemo didn't move at all and answered calmly, "None of your business." "You." Wei Feng Immortal Emperor was shocked at Yemo's domain and immortal essence, but now he almost spat blood. Ever since he had reached Immortal Emperor, no one had dared to talk to him in such cocky manner. Even Feng Kong Grand Emperor wouldn't speak to him like this. Yemo was a mere insect below Immortal Emperor. How dare he be so cocky? Wei Feng couldn't take it anymore and sweat out his Immortal Emperor domain as well as his magic artifact Truth Abstruse Star. 49 dark red stars formed a spoon shape and instantly wrapped around Yemo. An ordinary immortal would have been turned to dust in a second. But Yemo was no ordinary person. His body refinement reached immortal god body middle stage. The stars had a great pressure on him, but he wasn't defenseless. Plus, Shadowless was here. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's domain was extremely powerful. It almost materialized, but Shadowless didn't care. He just came up and bit down. Crack! Even the immortals on the side could hear the domain cracking. While gasping at Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's domain, they were also shocked at Shadowless's power. The moment Wei Feng's domain was broken, Yemo's domain swept over. Originally, Yemo's domain was much weaker than Wei Feng's domain, but now with Shadowless, they reached a balance. Such powerful devouring capabilities. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor had long noticed Shadowless, and in fact, he came here partly due to Shadowless. Shadowless could devour domain just as he heard. He was secretly overjoyed but also shocked. He loved Shadowless's devouring capabilities. If he took Shadowless and then with Shadowless's help he wouldn't fear even the 4 Grand Emperors. He was shocked at how powerful Yemo's domain was. This domain was no weaker than ordinary Immortal Emperor. No wonder he could kill 2 Immortal Emperor. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor actually found that if he didn't use his lethal move, he wouldn't even have the definite advantage over Yemo. Yemo was originally suppressed by Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's domain, but now that Shadowless broke it, he immediately felt easier. Although his domain couldn't completely suppress Wei Feng's, but he could use his god art now. The 49 abstruse stars were gathering close. That oppressive feeling was getting stronger and stronger. This almost made Yemo unable to breathe. This was the first time Yemo saw such terrifying magic artifact. If it wasn't that Shadowless helped him bite into the Immortal Emperor domain, he would be in the definite lower hand. Once he was trapped by the 49 stars, he could only wait and die. Yemo didn't release Sisu. He had realized now that Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's power was much stronger than Sha Yu Immortal Emperor. His original contempt was gone. He released his strongest god art 5 Lightning Spear Destruction without hesitation. It didn't need any winding up. It was Yemo's strongest god art, and ever since creating it, he had never used it. The 49 abstruse stars were getting more oppressive, and Yemo's immortal essence tore that pressure like crazy, but he couldn't use the entire 5 Lightning Spear Destruction. Shadowless knew that the 49 stars wasn't something he could devour yet. Although Wei Feng's domain was hard to devour, and he might crack his teeth, Shadowless still opened his mouth and bit down twice without hesitation. Wei Feng's already tattered domain cracked open a long crevice. The pressure of the 49 stars eased up a bit down. Yemo released 5 Lightning Spear Destruction immediately. 5 extremely thick lightning spears suddenly appeared and struck down. There was no wind-up nor any void lethal force, but when Wei Feng Immortal Emperor felt these 5 lightning spears, the terrifying killing intent already loomed over him. Ear-screeching lightning sounds struck and appeared above Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's head. Under the illumination of the 5 thick lightning spears, the surroundings lit up in vibrance. However, the feeling that the 5 lightning spears gave Wei Feng Immortal Emperor was extremely terrifying. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor's heart shook. He doesn't remember how long it has been since he felt this feeling. Last time, it was the battle with Wushuang Immortal Emperor. Today, he felt this feeling on someone who wasn't even Immortal Emperor yet. The 49 stars instantly split into 2 groups. 25 of them had formed 5 rings, each of them blocking 1 lighting spear. The 49 stars instantly split into 2 groups. 25 of them had formed 5 rings, each of them blocking 1 lighting spear. The 25 black stars smashed together with the 5 lightning spears, creating this heaven-shocking wave. The explosive sounds and terrifying rattling of space shocked nearby people back once again. The 5 lightning spears that were countless times faster than electric sparks were smashed by the 25 stars and immediately dispersed. At the same time, the 25 black stars dimmed down. Small fine black crevices appeared in the void, seeping out terrifying chi. Everyone was very shocked. They all knew what this crevice was. This was real void crevice. Although this was far from tearing open the void, but the first clash between their god arts created this terrifying crevice. One could see how powerful their immortal essence was. Even just watching on the side, one might get swept in and pulverized if one wasn't careful. Luckily, when the two fought, they knew there were people around, and with more than 10 immortal emperors setting up immortal essence walls together, the chi that spread out was blocked. In order to stop Yimo's lightning spear, Wei Feng Immortal Emperor took back 25 stars. The northern constellation formation immediately crippled. The remaining 24 stars' power dropped drastically. When Yimo used Shatter Space, the punch brought 24 void ruins and smashed on these 24 stars. Thud, thud, thud. The huge collision sounds came about non-stop. Instantly, Yimo's Shatter Space fist force was crippled. Void ruin smashed on Yimo, making him fly back with a few blood marks. Shadowless landed next to Yimo and asked in shock, "Boss, are you fine? Why not use 9 lightning spears instead of 5? You're going too easy on him." However, Shadowless sound transmission was flawed. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor instantly caught onto the space ripples and heard what Shadowless said. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor was already shocked at Yimo's 5 lightning spear destruction. This was the first time his 49 stars didn't kill a person who wasn't even Immortal Emperor yet. Yimo wasn't even heavily injured. Hearing Shadowless words, he realized that Yimo could use 9 lightning spears. Yimo was at the definite lower hand, and he knew he was no match for Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Yimo was very speechless at Shadowless trying to be smart, and patted his head. "Even if you don't talk, no one will think you're a mute." Shadowless sound transmission didn't have such loopholes under his teachings. Now that he used that low tactics, it was letting Wei Feng Immortal Emperor knew that he couldn't use 9 lightning spears. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor didn't. Shadowless did this intentionally. The Immortal Emperors at the opening of the small heaven domain knew clearly about Shadowless. Based on what people who have seen Shadowless and Yimo said, Shadowless had a failed sound transmission before. He suspected that Shadowless did this intentionally. It's been this long, why didn't Yimo teach Shadowless the right way to sound transmission? However, he was also dubious whether Yimo was Ningxiama. Plus, with what Yimo showed just then, he guessed that with Yimo's power, it wasn't rare to use 9 lightning spears. Shadowless' trick actually made Wei Feng Immortal Emperor believe him. He didn't have the confidence to kill or subjugate Yimo, and now that Shadowless said this, he realized even more that he might be able to beat Yimo, but it would be very hard to kill him. He had the definite upper hand in that fight. If he fought with Yimo and both sides got injured, or he had to release his secret moves, then that wasn't what he wanted. Since he couldn't subjugate Yimo easily, he wasn't going to keep fighting. He didn't do things he didn't have confidence in. Yimo knew he was no match for Wei Feng Immortal Emperor, and since this guy didn't fight, clearly he wasn't. "No wonder you're so cocky, you can block my attack. On this account I'll let you go. But just with your power, it's far from being able to be cocky here. You have no business here with Wujia Sound River. If you dare to threaten Wuhui Immortal Emperor again, then don't blame me." There was something he didn't say. He could tell Yemo was at least an immortal god body refinement immortal. Otherwise, those small void crevices would heavily injure him. This was why he felt more threatened by Yemo. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, collected the stars and stood in the air with his hands behind his back. Compared to Yemo's state, he seemed much easier. Plus what he said, some people who couldn't understand thought Wei Feng, immortal emperor, let Yemo go out of magnanimity, and immediately respected Wei Feng, immortal emperor, for his character. But some people who could understand could see that Wei Feng, immortal emperor, felt threatened by Yemo, and didn't want to keep fighting. As for telling Yemo not to come back and threaten Wu Hui, immortal emperor, that was slapping Wu Hui, immortal emperor's face. He was helping Wujia Sound River, yet this bastard didn't help in fighting nor words at all. He acted like he was just a bystander watching a show. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, was furious. I don't need other people to tell me whose trouble to not look for. The king doesn't need someone to forgive. If you want to fight, then fight, no need for bullshit. Yemo knew he couldn't beat Wei Feng, immortal emperor, but don't even think about using him to act cool. Yemo had made up his mind that if Wei Feng, immortal emperor, was going to fight, he would make this old guy lose face and take away Bei Wei. Signy, you want to die, then don't blame the emperor. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, didn't expect that Yemo wouldn't give him a way down. He was losing face. Brother Wei Feng, Xingren has something to say. Xingren, immortal emperor, quickly came up. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, breathed easy and nodded while looking calm. So it's Brother Xingren, please speak. Sect leader Yu was just saying some things. It's not like he would really do anything to Wujia Sound River. Plus, they have 2 more ancestors. Plus, after Brother Wei Feng, sect leader Yu would know that there's no limit to the path of cultivation. Why take this seriously with him, Brother Wei Feng? But I was wondering why Feng Kong Grand Emperor and Dragon River Grand Emperor didn't come this time? Xingren changed the subject subtly. It wasn't just Xingren who saw the intricacies of the battle, but he was the first to act as the good mediator. Those people knew that after the battle both of them didn't want to keep fighting. However, Wei Feng, immortal emperor, wanted face, but Yemo didn't give it to him. That's what caused the stalemate. What Xingren said got the appreciation of both Yemo and Wei Feng, immortal emperor. Wu Hui, immortal emperor, could tell Wei Feng, immortal emperor, was unhappy with him, but he could only come out and thank Wei Feng, immortal emperor now. Tang Beiwei was just a hollow immortal, but she could tell her brother couldn't beat Wei Feng, immortal emperor. Seeing the two didn't keep fighting, her heart finally rested. Seeing Yemo come over, she quickly said in a small voice, Brother, why don't we go first? Yemo waved his hand. No need, stay here. I need to buy immortal spirit herb, I can't leave now. How can Yemo leave now? His cultivation level bottleneck was loose now, but he wasn't level 9 immortal pill grand master yet. He couldn't concoct the pills for breakthrough to immortal emperor yet. If he wanted to beat Wei Feng, immortal emperor, he would have to reach immortal emperor. Otherwise, he was far from teaching Wei Feng, immortal emperor, a lesson. At the same time, Yemo started to doubt the authenticity of Jin Bingyu's words. He thought that Wei Feng, immortal emperor, wasn't very strong. After all, he joined up with more than 10 immortal emperor and didn't completely kill Wushuang, immortal emperor. Instead, a few immortal emperors on their side died. Based on that, Wushuang, immortal emperor, was very powerful, but it also meant Wei Feng, immortal emperor, wasn't very strong. However, the battle today made Yemo realize that Wei Feng, immortal emperor, was the strongest immortal emperor he had ever fought. How could such a powerful guy have such a battle result with Wushuang, immortal emperor? If it wasn't that Jin Bingyu's news was wrong, then it was Wushuang, immortal emperor, was too scary. Or Wei Feng, immortal emperor, didn't use full power when they fought Wushuang, immortal emperor. But other immortal emperors came to help him. Why didn't he use full power? Unless... Yemo glanced at Wei Feng, immortal emperor, who was chatting with a smile, and felt this was more eerie. Unless Wei Feng, immortal emperor, intentionally hid his power so Wushuang, immortal emperor, could kill a few more immortal emperors. Wushuang, immortal emperor, was just relying on a spirit will 9 transformations. Yemo cultivated to the 4th transformation but didn't feel spirit will 9 transformations could kill 9 immortal emperors in a row. Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, just woke up from her shock. Emo could even take on Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor. This was too scary. She immediately thought of the Saint Yi who was locked up and quickly said to Emo, "Sect Leader Yi." Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, didn't even speak, and Emo knew what she meant and said, "Please come in and have a talk." Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, didn't even speak, and Emo knew what she meant and said, "Please come in and have a talk." Even Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, didn't do anything to Emo. No one dared to say anything near Emo's place. Plus, Shadowless was sitting at the door. No one even dared to come close. Xiangji Qianbei. Before Emo finished, Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, quickly got up and said, "Sect Leader, you just call me Xiangji. I don't dare to be called Qianbei." Emo nodded. "Then please tell me more about Yi and that Earth Abyss Fire Pond." Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, was going to ask Emo to help save Yi, and now that Emo asked, she immediately said, "Jiufan Immortal Pond is different to other sections. The sect leader has very great power and can cultivate in the Tianji Immortal Marrow." As though feeling that she shouldn't talk about the power struggles in the sect, she changed subject and said, "Yi's master sect leader Luan Shao didn't listen to the other two Immortal Emperor elders and took Yi to Wujia Sound River to help you. In the end, she had conflict with Wuhua Immortal Emperor and was hunted. Yi was taken back by Yuan Yun martial uncle and locked up in the Earth Abyss Fire Pond. Is it that Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor didn't get to be sect leader, so that's why she's unhappy with Yi's master?" Emo didn't like power struggles, but he sensed this bullshit immediately. Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, quickly said, "This isn't something we Wan Bais can discuss. Luan Shao sect leader got the position passed down from Feng Feng martial ancestor. Yi caused great trouble for the sect this time, so she had her powers erased and locked up." Emo sneered. "A small business between two emperor sects is called great trouble? Did Wuhua hunt Yi's master due to some other reason as well? Why did sect leader Luan Zhao's master go? I don't dare to say if there are other reasons. As for martial ancestor Feng Feng, I heard martial uncle say that the martial ancestor felt her life was nearing its end and left the immortal realm to seek the god path," Emo said. Emo could tell this entire thing was Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor acting up. Not only did she not help the sect leader but instead punished Yi to suck up to Wujia Sound River. Emo didn't care what intentions this Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor had, he just wanted to know how Zhang Tai was doing now. Who erased Yi's power? What place is that Earth Abyss Fire Pond? If her power is erased, how can she stay alive in that place? Emo's tone was getting angry. If it wasn't that Xiangji was quite supportive of Yi, he would have rung her to Jiufan Immortal Pond already. Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, could feel the coldness in Emo's tone and subconsciously shivered. It was no strange thing for him to attack the sect and even kill Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor. She finally realized what terrifying friend Emo was to Yi. She didn't understand why Emo was being abused by Wuhui Immortal Emperor before, since he was this terrifying. She clearly saw that Wuhui Immortal Emperor didn't even dare to say no to Emo. She didn't dare to ask about this and quickly replied, "Yi's master left Yi a top defense magic artifact called Jade Void God Flame Lid. This magic artifact could block the flame marrow from the fire pond. If Yi still had her powers, she would be able to last fine for tens of thousands of years, but without her power, she might not even last 200 years. Emo sneered and got up. Yi lost her powers due to him. No matter how much he needed level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb, he would have to save her first. At the same time, he need to ask about Dingjia. "I'm going to Jiufan Immortal Pond." Emo made up his decision. There were still a few days before the secret realm opened. Plus, it would be after the secret realm closed that Immortal Spirit Herbs would be coming out. He had come early and taken a good position. As long as he left his cultivation home magic artifact here, it would be fine. When he came back from Jiufan Immortal Pond, he would collect his Immortal Spirit Herbs. He didn't believe with the power he showed, someone would dare to steal his place. He could leave Tang Bei Wei and Shadowless here, but he felt worried, so he would take them. "I'll go with you," Xiang Ji, Immortal Monarch, immediately said. She knew Yimo's power, and pissing Yimo off wasn't good for Jiufan Immortal Pond. She could act as the mediator. Yimo knew her intentions and nodded in agreement. He didn't want to cause huge trouble at Yi's sect. Seeing this, she quickly went to her sect place and handed the business of entering the secret realm to another immortal monarch, and came to Yimo. Seeing Yimo and Xiang Ji come out, many people looked over. After all, the battle with Wei Feng Immortal Emperor just then was too shocking. Yimo saluted with his fists and said loudly, "I have a small cultivation home immortal artifact taking up position here. I need to leave here and do something. After I come back, I will come back and purchase immortal spirit herbs. Friends, please help look after it." With this many immortal emperors, sects and merchant associations here, Yimo was probably the only one daring to leave a cultivation home immortal artifact and take a spot. All these people here were here to buy immortal spirit herbs, and although there were a lot of high-level immortal spirit herbs inside, it was limited. Which sect or merchant association here lacked immortal crystals? If one had a good position, he could buy first. Yimo came early and got one of the best positions. Although many people admired, but no one dared to ask for Yimo's position. More terrifyingly was that Yimo didn't leave the small heaven domain. The small heaven domain exploded, but Yimo could avoid it, and his cultivation level progressed this fast. There definitely was a huge secret on him. Many people believed there were secrets on Yimo, but his cultivation level was too terrifying and no one dared to mess with him. Yimo fell silent. She wasn't dumb. How could she not know that their deal was complete? Otherwise, how could Yimo give her the stealth cultivation method? She just didn't know and gave Li Kun a fruit like an idiot. "That Yimo isn't old, but I'm certain his future is boundless. Many people probably guessed that Yimo is Ning Xiaoma, but I suggest you don't spread it," Yi Immortal Monarch warned. "I know," Mian quickly said. Yi Immortal Monarch nodded. "If I tell Yimo that Ethereal Immortal Pond wants to have a marriage engagement with him and send you to be his doubt partner, what would you think?" Mian's face didn't change at all. Ethereal Immortal Pond was just a very ordinary sect. They could have their status today mainly due to their marriage engagements. Whether it was in the cultivation realm or the immortal realm, this has never changed. Ethereal Immortal Pond would join up with those extremely talented people through marriage engagements. "Disciple is willing to be doubt partners with Yimo, but..." Miyun showed a face of regret. "But what?" Yi Immortal Monarch asked desperately. Miyun sighed. "I was once interested in Yimo and tested him on the spot, but he rejected me. So even if Martial Ancestors brings this up to him, it's useless. If I suddenly say I like you and want to help you, would you believe me?" Miyun thought of what she said to Yimo. Seeing Yi Immortal Monarch a bit disappointed, Miyun quickly said, "Martial sister Ningyi, you seem to be close with Yimo." Yimo went into the pond for cultivation on the invitation of Martial sister Ningyi. Their relationship only seemed to have deteriorated after Fang Chen appeared. "When things here are over, invite Yimo to come Ethereal Immortal Pond. If he's willing to come, there's still some chance left," Yi Immortal Monarch immediately said. "Yes, disciple understands." Miyun felt a little awkward, but she knew this concerned Ethereal Immortal Pond's future status. When Yimo came outside Jiufan Immortal Pond, he could see from a far distance that the place looked like an immortal pond floating in the air. There were mountain ranges and extremely luxurious buildings. From Xiangji's words, Yimo knew that the reason this sect was named so was because there were 9 immortal ponds in the sect. Tianji Immortal Marrow Pond and Earth Abyss Fire Pond were just 2 ponds. One was a sacred cultivation ground, one was a prison. When Xiangji Hollow Immortal brought Yimo and Tang Beiwei here, there were already 8 people greeting them. To Yimo's surprise, there was a male immortal amongst them. He was Immortal Emperor Power. Yimo knew that the sect only took in female disciples. "Jiufan Immortal Pond Yuan Yun greet sect leader Yi. Welcome to our sect." Your presence lights up our sect. It was a middle-aged woman at the front. She wasn't young, but her looks were still better than those female immortal around her. Haha, so sect leader Yi is this young. No wonder Ding Jia from my sect admires sect leader Yi so much. I'm Red River Emperor Sect's Jin Hui. Greet sect leader Yi. The man laughed and saluted with his fists. Yemo breathed easy. He didn't need to go to Red River Emperor sect anymore. After a brief greeting, Yemo asked, Jin Hui Immortal Emperor, I'm wondering how my friend Ding Jia is? Jin Hui Immortal Emperor clearly heard of Yemo's news and knew why Yemo came. He quickly said, Sect leader Yi, I came for Ding Jia's matter. Ding Jia came back to the sect and asked the sect Immortal Emperor to help sect leader Yi. However, our sect was short-sighted, and because Ding Jia was fine, we didn't want to intervene. In his fury, Ding Jia left the sect. Ding Jia is the most outstanding sect members of our sect. I just came back from outside and heard of this. I immediately came here to ask if Ding Jia came over, but I was fortunate to encounter sect leader Yi. I'm truly honored. Yemo heard this and realized that Ding Jia and Yi's status was completely different. Ding Jia left the sect on his own, but Yi was locked up. Sect leader Yi, it's been a tiring journey. Please come to the guest hall for some tea and rest. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor said with a smile. How could she not know why Yemo came? If she knew why Y's friend was this powerful, why would she be the bad guy? Yemo said plainly. No need for tea. I came to visit Yi, take me to see her. His dominance was clear in his tone. He didn't even request for permission. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor's face looked bad. She was an Immortal Emperor middle stage, but Yemo didn't show any politeness to her. Theoretically, locking up Yi was the sect's matter. It had nothing to do with Yemo. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor's face looked bad. She was an Immortal Emperor middle stage, but Yemo didn't show any politeness to her. Theoretically, locking up Yi was the sect's matter. It had nothing to do with Yemo. She knew that Yemo said it's none of your business to Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. She really wanted to give these words to Yemo, but she knew she couldn't say this unless she was stronger than Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Xiangji Immortal Monarch saw this and became worried. She was scared that Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor would act against Yemo. That way, Yemo might even kill her. Just when she wanted to sound transmission to Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor, she heard the Immortal Emperor say, Of course I can take you to see Yi, but you can't see her yet. Yemo's face sunk. Before Yemo could say anything, Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor quickly explained. Earth Abyss Flame Pond opens once a month. There's still 2 days before it opens, so you need to wait there for 2 days. The formation is set down by the sect martial ancestor. If we open it before the right time, it would cripple the flame pond. Yemo didn't act angry. He knew that regardless of whether this was real or fake, he had been in there for this long. An extra 1 or 2 days won't matter. Seeing Yemo stay calm, Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor breathed easy. She really wasn't lying to Yemo. The pond only opened once every month. Despite Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor being very hospitable, Yemo wasn't interested to talk too much. He just chattered with Jing Hui Immortal Emperor a little and left with Shadowless and Bei Wei. Martial Sister Yuan Yun, it's not that I'm saying random things, but what your sect did to Yi wasn't too appropriate. Jing Hui Immortal Emperor exclaimed. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor said plainly. My Jiufan Immortal Pond is an Emperor sect. Yi broke the sect rules, of course she needs to be punished. If all the sect members aren't punished for their mistakes, would my sect still be an Emperor sect? Your sect didn't listen to Ding Jia as well. Jin Hui Immortal Emperor thought. Yi was a famous prodigy in the Grand Heaven domains. Even if she made a mistake, could she be punished like this? Their sect wasn't comparable at all. Ding Jia didn't get help, but his status was fine. He suddenly realized that the rumors of conflict between Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor and Wan Shao Immortal Emperor was probably true. Otherwise, Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor wouldn't treat Yi like this. On the second day that Yemo left, the secret realm entrance should have shown and then completely open on the third day. However, on the second day, There was still no sign of the door. The immortal emperors, including Wei Feng Immortal Emperor, felt something wasn't right and all went to check. Soon after, a few more dashing lights came. Luckily we came not too late, the secret realm isn't opened yet. A sword-browed handsome immortal king looked at everyone here and put away his flying magic artifact. Nearly 10 people came and they were all immortal kings. Martial brother Wencheng, the places here seemed full. We promised Jilin Merchant Association to get a good position for them. It seems we're too late and my Nanluo Emperor sect members don't seem to be here yet. A pretty female immortal scanned around and said in disappointment. Martial brother Wencheng was clearly the head of this bunch. It was this person who wanted to kill Yemo. Yemo wanted to kill this Di Wencheng too. He was the number 1 master great immortal of Miaoqing Heaven, number 1 Emperor sect Jiuqian Emperor sect. He was now immortal king, but only he knew if he was still the number 1 master. Haha, there's a great place here. Lucky, we're so lucky. One cocky-looking immortal king laughed and pointed at the land Yemos circled. Li He's words immediately made people come look at the land Yemos circled. Li He, what do you think of this place? Di Wencheng wasn't as excited as Li He and just asked Li He calmly. Li He said excitedly, Martial brother Di, this is definitely a good place. When the secret realm closes, buying immortal spirit herb from this place would be all too easy. Jilin Merchant Association would definitely be very happy. We're too lucky, Di Wencheng said plainly. Since it's that good, do you think it would be our turn to take it? Someone circled this place and there are so many emperor sects here, so many immortal emperors and immortal monarchs, but no one dares to take it. Do you think it's normal? Di Wencheng's tone was getting serious, and clearly he was disappointed at Li He's brainless thoughts. There were countless immortals here, and when Di Wencheng and them came, other people saw them immediately. He was very famous, it was hard for him not to get noticed. The people on the side heard what Li He said and shook their heads speechlessly. Daring to rob sect leader Ye's place, he didn't want to live. But no one wanted to say this. Clearly, they didn't want trouble. The immortal emperors here went to check on the secret realm. Even if they were here, a few immortal kings weren't worth their time. Li He didn't mind at all. Martial brother Di, if it's some other sign I don't dare to say this, but the thing is I know this MOU immortal sect. This is just an immortal king sect. There's a few immortal kings in the sect. The sect leader Luo is quite strong. I told you before. He abused me and took my Shuwen blue flame. My sect members aren't here yet. If they are here, I'm going to make him beg to die. Li He's face became cruel speaking of this. Di Wencheng immediately recognized that this was Yemo who was on the immortal ship. His eyes went sharp and slapped the image away before saying, Brother Kai Chi, why does so many people not dare to rob his place? Di Wencheng immediately recognized that this was Yemo who was on the immortal ship. His eyes went sharp and slapped the image away before saying, Brother Kai Chi, why does so many people not dare to rob his place? Kai Chi quickly said, This person is very strong and has an even more powerful pet who can devour domain. Look at Demon Joy Sect Lu Ju, he lost an arm due to that pet. Di Wencheng sneered. If it was someone else he might not know, but he knew this Yemo clearly. He was strong indeed, and even he might not be a match for him, but just as Li He said, this wasn't the low heaven domain. The secret realms would open and the immortal monarchs and immortal emperors of their sect would be coming. A mere Yemo wasn't something special. Relying on an immortal pet? So what if the immortal pet was strong? Other than Yemo and his immortal pet, do they have anyone else? When the pet bit Lu Ju's arm, was the immortal emperor from the Demon Joy sect not here yet? Di Wencheng asked. Kai Chi immediately answered. There's also an extremely pretty female immortal. Demon Joy sect didn't have immortal emperor coming over at the time, but Jingren immortal emperor came over later. A female immortal? Di Wencheng dazed and subconsciously frowned. What cultivation level? Only hollow immortal puer. I heard it's his little sister. How is Yemo's power level? Kai Chi's answer gave Di Wenqing some confidence, but he was very careful and still asked about Yi Mo's cultivation level. It looks to be Immortal King middle stage, but many people guessed he hid his power. Kai Chi answered quickly, knowing Di Wenqing's status. Di Wenqing sneered. I think he's only such cultivation level. It's not too different from my guess. This guy likes to play it dark. He circles a land here, but no one comes, making people feel concerned instead. I suppose if he was here himself, his land would be long gone. Such good calculations. Li He, attack! Di Wenqing glanced at Li He and said. He might not be the number one in the Grand Heaven domain, but he was an elite amongst his peers. Yi Mo gave him great threat. If he could ruin Yi Mo, he would do it without hesitation. Li He was long waiting for this word. As soon as Di Wenqing said this, he released his magic artifact and smashed. A few people saw this and attacked too, but 3 didn't attack. They felt this thing was a bit strange. The defense formation Yi Mo set up was just symbolic. The Immortal Kings didn't need to smash a second time, and Yi Mo's defense formation was all gone. Wait, stop. Di Wenqing immediately noticed something wrong. Yi Mo's way could scare people for a while, but not forever. Plus, wouldn't Yi Mo know that once he came he would be a paper tiger? Lu Ju's arm was bitten off. Although Demon Joy Sect's Immortal Emperor wasn't there, but He had an Immortal Monarch here. Now that Yi Mo left, how could Lu Ju allow Yi Mo to keep his land? He would have ravaged Yi Mo's land and waited here to annihilate Yi Mo. He had seen how cunning Yi Mo was. If he just used such simple idea, he wouldn't be Yi Mo. There definitely was something he missed, but even so Di Wenqing wasn't too worried. His Jiuqian Emperor sect had 4 immortal emperors and was the number 1 emperor sect of Miaoqing Heaven. Even if Yi Mo had an immortal emperor behind him, he wouldn't be worried. Their sect's power wasn't something that Demon Joy Sect could compare with, but before he got things clear, he felt he should ask again. That martial brother of Starfall Emperor Valley looked dazedly at the formation that was ruined by Li He and them. He mumbled. You actually broke the land he circled, this is over. Seeing Kai Chi being this timid, Di Wenqing said coldly with contempt. Even if it's an immortal emperor's land, so what if I break it? Your sect is an emperor's sect. The immortal king of an emperor's sect is this timid. Then he shook his head in contempt. Xian Yuanqing felt Kai Chi was losing face for the sect too. Yes, yes. Kai Chi quickly saluted with his fist to Di Wenqing, and then pulled Xian Yuanqing. Martial brother Yuanqing, martial uncle is calling you over. Xian Yuanqing saluted with his fists to Di Wenqing. Martial brother Di, I'm going to greet my sect first, and then come over. Di Wenqing nodded. Go, it's fine over here. No one wanted to say a thing after Di Wenqing's group broke the formation. There was great competition between core disciples of Emperor sections. They hoped that this bunch would greatly offend Yi Mo so Yi Mo could kill a few. Di Wenqing wasn't scared of Yi Mo, but after he broke the formation, no one came to say a thing. He felt even more that things weren't right. He had to get things clear regardless. At this moment, a figure came over from this distant, clearly heading towards the entrance of the secret realm. Di Wenqing saw who it was and quickly bowed. Jiuqian Emperor Sem Di Wenqing greet Nong Yen Immortal Emperor Master. Nong Yen Immortal Emperor had been to Jiuqian Emperor's sect, and Di Wenqing had seen him more than once. Nong Yen Immortal Emperor glanced at Yi Mo's land and the broken formation before smiling. So it's Martial niece Wenqing. Great, great, the Wan Beis are brave. I'm going to see why the secret realm gates hasn't shown yet. After saying some strange words, Nong Yen Immortal Emperor laughed. Di Wenqing really frowned this time. He felt this entire thing was strange. After thinking about this, he asked that extremely handsome Immortal King, Yuan Kui, go ask some other sect. I feel this thing isn't that simple. Yuan Kui nodded and went over to ask. Evenly he felt something wasn't right. Another 5-colored rainbow flying magic artifact flew over. Chani quickly said, Martial brother Wenqing, my sect is here. I'm going over there. As soon as Chani left, Yuan Kui came back. Di Wenqing saw Yuan Kui's face was very bad, so he immediately asked, What is going on? Did that Yemo find an extremely powerful emperor sect for backup? Although he asked this, Diwenching's killing intent towards Yemo didn't recede at all. So what if Yemo found support? He didn't believe there would be a sect stronger than his to support Yemo, plus, he wasn't the only emperor sect here. There was Nan Luo Emperor Sect, Sengyu Emperor Sect, Moon City Emperor Sect, and Shilin Merchant Association. Yuan Kui said heavily. Brother D, things don't seem to be that easy. A few days ago, he and his pet started a huge trouble at the Xianlan Merchant Tower auction. He killed Sha Yu Immortal Emperor and Wu Ming Immortal Emperor. Not long ago, he fought with Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Although he was at the lower hand, Wei Feng Immortal Emperor didn't keep attacking. What? Diwenching was shocked on the spot. Even if Yemo was the number one at cultivation speed in the immortal realm, he can't possibly fight a Grand Emperor in 100 or so years. This was too insane. Was he possessed? That wasn't plausible too. What possessed person could take on Wei Feng Grand Emperor? Diwenching's face was serious. No wonder Chan Yi and Xi and Yuanqing didn't come back after going to their sections. It seems their sect realized they messed with someone they shouldn't mess with. Yemo didn't know his formation was broken. He was taking Shadowless and Bei Wei with Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor towards the Earth Abyss Fire Pond. The Earth Abyss Flame Pond was underground at the sect. Yemo and them walked for 15 minutes but were still not there. The temperature was getting higher and higher. Tang Beiwei had to be protected by Yemo to keep walking. The Earth Abyss Flame Pond was underground at the sect. Yemo and them walked for 15 minutes but were still not there. The temperature was getting higher and higher. Tang Beiwei had to be protected by Yemo to keep walking. Another 5 minutes later, Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor stopped. They appeared on an 8 trigram. There was a fire door ahead. It was formed by waves of fire, and there were the words Geofan Earth Abyss Fire. Below the words was a rink of a jade card. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor took out a faint red card and slotted it in. The card fit tightly in the rink. After doing so, the fire on the door swept away. When the last flame left, a 3-meter wide 6-meter tall door appeared before them. Yemo scanned his spirit sense in and could only see fiery red. Even his sea of consciousness ached a little. Tang Beiwei listened to Yemo and didn't dare to scan her spirit sense out. Sect Leader Yi, this is the Earth Abyss Fire Pond, please come in with me. Although Yi is locked up in here, she has a Jade Void God Flame lid. She should be fine. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor opened the doors and said politely to Yemo. Yemo nodded and went in first. Jin Hui Immortal Emperor was a guest, and was also invited here. Xiangji Immortal Monarch was here too. They walked in the pond and the scorching heat swept over. Weaker people would be turned to dust immediately. But Yemo frowned. He felt the temperature here was too low. It was completely different to what he imagined. After coming in, Yemo saw that there really was a pond here. The pond had a circumference of 30 meters. Inside the pond was all flame marrows. The flame marrows were still glistening with fire. There was a red altar that was 1 meter long in the center of the pond. But there was no signs of Yi here. Yemo looked at Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor in confusion, but saw her staring at the altar in shock for a while before murmuring, "Where's Zhan Tai?" Yemo raised a brow and said coldly, "Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor, what do you mean?" Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor was annoyed at Yemo's attitude but could only explain. Yi was on the altar, but now she's gone. The atmosphere became strange. Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor said that the pond was unable to be opened before the right time, but now Yi disappeared from the pond. This was too strange. No one would believe that Yi suddenly teleported away with transmission rune. If one could escape here with a transmission rune, it wouldn't become one of Geofan Immortal Pond's 9 ponds. Seeing Yemo's bleak face, Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor said calmly, "Yi is the saint of our sect. Even if I kill her, I don't need to lie to you. In fact, I did lock her up here and didn't even take her Jade Void God Flame lid. There's no other way out other than from the entrance. I really don't know how she suddenly disappeared. Regardless of whether you believe me or not, I really don't know. After pausing, Yuan Yun, Immortal Emperor, said again. I came this time and felt the temperature lower greatly. Mo didn't feel Yuan Yun was lying and was more confused. Xiangji, Immortal Monarch, saw Mo didn't show a kind face and quickly added, Marshal, Uncle Yuan Yun is right. I've been to the pond a few times. The temperature was much higher than this. Mo thought for a moment and asked, Do you have someone come in every month when it's opened? Yuan Yun, Immortal Emperor, shook her head. No, one must use my jade card to enter the pond. The last time I came here was 12 years ago. Mo sneered and interrupted her. So you're saying that if you haven't been here for 12 years, then even if Yi disappeared 11 years ago, you wouldn't know? Yuan Yun was annoyed with Mo's attitude but could only say, Yes, I did come in 12 years ago. Suppressing his anger, Mo looked at her and said, Release the restriction, I'm going to see that altar. Mo was furious, but Yuan Yun, Immortal Emperor, was more furious. This was her sect, not Mo's backyard, but she had long heard of Mo's arrogance. He killed 2 Immortal Emperors in a row and didn't even give face to Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor. She could only forbear and threw the jade card out. Immediately people felt the restriction above the pond disappear. Shadowless, take care of Bei Wei. I'll go have a look. Mo gave Tang Bei Wei to Shadowless and then flew over and landed on the altar. No one spoke. They all hoped Mo would find something and solve this misunderstanding. As soon as Mo landed here, he sensed a familiar Dao rune. They were very subtle. Mo even had the feeling that only he was able to sense them. The next moment, Mo closed his eyes. He felt his senses fuse with the sliver of Dao rune and a stairway slowly appeared before Mo. Mo was shocked. Void stairways, wasn't this the world laws he derived using the title status tower? The stairways to another world. Yi could learn the void laws to another realm and then she used this to disappear? How could Yi do this? Even though he had the help of the 3-birth chant, he might not be able to find the stairs here. Such talent and intelligence was too shocking. In his impression, Yi was very talented and smart, but she wasn't this good. Mo gave up thinking about this and focused on deriving the stairs. The next moment, he grabbed a jade slip from the void. When Mo grabbed this, the void stairs disappeared too. Mo frowned. He wanted to go along this void stairs and see, but it disappeared. Mo scanned his spirit sense into the jade slip. To be able to find my jade slip, you're either Brother Yi or Martial Brother Dingjie. But I believe Martial Brother Dingjie wouldn't be able to learn Brother Yi's stairway to the void realm, so you're probably Brother Yi. Brother Yi, don't worry, I'm fine. Thanks for coming to save me. I was locked up here for more than a decade before realizing that the Earth Abyss Fire Pond isn't a prison but one of our sacred cultivation grounds that's ranked number 1. However, this place will no longer be a sacred ground. I feel guilty towards Geofan Immortal Pond. I got the Geofan Flame Lotus in here and got the number 1 lost cultivation method of the sect, Geofan Geo Lotus Sutra. It completely refined the impurities in my body as well as my immortal spirit root and intelligence, allowing me to sense the utmost high state of heaven Tao. I clearly felt how Brother Yi used world laws to derive the void stairs and even felt the marks left behind by Brother Yi's thought and spirit sense. Using what I learned from Brother Yi and the Geofan Geo Lotus Sutra, I derived new void stairs in 100 years. I know these stairs might not be leading towards the immortal realm, but I have this impulse to go and see it. Brother Yi, I'm going. No matter what the future is like, Brother Yi will always be unique in Yi's heart. If you're Martial Brother Dingjie, then please tell Brother Yi that Yi has gone. You and Brother Yi take care. Perhaps we will meet in a new place in the future. Yi. Mo put away the jade slip and felt speechless for a long time. There was a faint sense of loss in his heart. He had the feeling that once he saw Yi again, she won't be the same Yi, but he will always be the Mo from before. Man Ding will probably still be that Man Ding. Mo took Bei Wei and Shadowless to leave. He didn't say any reason. Even Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor didn't get why Mo didn't look for trouble with her. Yemo took Bei Wei and Shadowless to leave. He didn't say any reason. Even Yuan Yun, Immortal Emperor, didn't get why Yemo didn't look for trouble with her. As for Jin Hui, Immortal Emperor's invitation, Yemo rejected. He could get along well with Ding Jia, but he didn't want to connect with the other people in his sect. Jiakui's secret realm was in the Immortal City, and in order for people to not be able to go to the secret realm entrance anytime they please, the city set up a top stealth and defense formation around this place. The secret realm opening doesn't mean the entrance was opened, it meant that the defense formation was opened. Only when the defense formation was opened could one take places at the entrance of the secret realm. Otherwise, people would go in a few months early to take an advantageous position. Boss, I thought you were going to kill that Yuan Yun Immortal Emperor, and then destroy the Earth Abyss Fire Pond. Shadowless licked his lips on the space-time boat. How could Yemo not know what this guy thought, and slapped over. Idiot, you're not allowed to eat people from now on. Shadowless quickly shut his mouth, fearing that his boss would say he wasn't allowed to eat immortal beasts. Brother, did that Sister Yi leave? Tang Bei Wei guessed something and asked. Yemo nodded. She has her own fortune, her future would be huge. Brother, do you like her? Is she prettier than Sister Susu? Tang Bei Wei asked, seeing Yemo was a little dejected. Yemo shook his head. I only thought of her as a friend. I'm worried that one day we might become enemies. My premonitions are very strong. After seeing the jade slip left behind by her, I have this strong feeling. And Yemo didn't finish his sentence, and Bei Wei didn't ask. Yemo disliked the Jiufan Geo Lotus Sutra. It's just a small girl, if she dares to rebel, I'll crack. Shadowless didn't finish yet and subconsciously looked at Yemo. As though remembering what Yemo said before, he quickly shut up, but this time Yemo didn't reproach him and abruptly got up. Shadowless also noticed it and called out, Which idiot broke our land? I'm going to eat him. Even Tang Bei Wei looked at Shadowless speechlessly. This guy didn't know how to say anything else other than this. Yemo's space-time boat stopped in the middle of his land. Everyone heard Shadowless' words and immediately people became excited. They knew there was probably going to be a good show to watch. Di Wenqing and them destroyed Yemo's land. Now that Yemo was back, how could he let Di Wenqing go? Yemo didn't even care about Wei Feng Immortal Emperor, much less Jiu Qian Emperor sect. Wei Feng Immortal Emperor has more than 3 or 4 Immortal Emperors under him. Yemo put away the space-time boat and looked at the cultivation home immortal artifact. The defense formation was broken, and so was the sign, but no one took the place. Brother! Tang Bei Wei looked worriedly at Yemo. Her power was too low, and couldn't really help. It's fine. Yemo waved his hand. He realized what happened. It was probably someone who broke his defense formation and then heard about his things and became scared and left. Yemo didn't organize this place nor lift up the sign. He just said to Shadowless, Guard outside. If someone comes, notify me. Bei Wei, let's go in first. Realizing what happened, Yemo didn't worry. If someone was really challenging him, they wouldn't leave this place, and his cultivation home magic artifact should have been taken away. He was wondering why the Jiakui's secret realm still isn't open. It should long be open, but why were there people still staying here? Did something happen? But even if something did happen, the first thing for him to deal with was his formation being ruined. Inside the cultivation home, Tang Bei Wei sat by Yemo and didn't understand what Yemo meant. But soon she heard Shadowless call from outside. Nanduo Emperor Sect Shinkun Immortal Emperor, Mi Quan Immortal Emperor come to visit and brought a sign. Yemo saw 3 people come from outside. He knew 2 of them, Mi Quan Immortal Emperor and Chani. To be honest, Mi Quan Immortal Emperor helped him before. If it wasn't Mi Quan Immortal Emperor on the immortal ship, the Demon Joy Sect Immortal King would have got him for sure. It was due to Mi Quan Immortal Emperor that he killed Uncle Ji, but Yemo knew he wasn't from Nanluo Emperor Sect. What was he doing here? The 2 Immortal Emperors had come in. When Mi Quan Immortal Emperor saw Yemo, he immediately saluted with his fists and smiled. Haha, Sect Leader Yi is indeed amazing. When I first saw Sect Leader Yi, Sect leader Yi hasn't gotten immortal status yet, but now, you're a status immortal now. He didn't know Yi Mo's exact power, so he spoke obscurely. Yi Mo didn't show any impoliteness to Miquan, immortal emperor. He quickly got up and said, Miquan Qianbei, please have a seat. I don't dare. If sect leader Yi approves of Miquan, just call me brother Miquan. I don't dare to be Qianbei. Miquan, immortal emperor, quickly waved his hand. He had long heard of Yi Mo's story and saw the recording of Yi Mo fighting the immortal emperors. Yi Mo was stronger than him. How could he allow Yi Mo to call him Qianbei? Yi Mo nodded and saluted with his fists and a smile. Then I won't be too polite, brother Miquan. Of course this is so, sect leader Yi, allow me to introduce. This is Nan Luo Emperor Sect Shinkun, immortal emperor. He's my extremely good friend. Miquan, immortal emperor, pointed at an immortal emperor next to Yi Mo and said. Hearing this, Yi Mo knew that Miquan, immortal emperor, was called over to help mediate the problem. Shinkun, immortal emperor, quickly saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Nan Luo Emperor Sect Shinkun greets sect leader Yi. It should be a happy discussion with sect leader Yi this time, but my sect members are ignorant and broke sect leader Yi's defense formation. I'm really embarrassed and came here to apologize. Seeing Shinkun, immortal emperor, apologize, he quickly saluted with his fists and said, Haha, brother Shinkun, please take a seat. Then, he took out immortal spirit tea and poured a cup for everyone. Shinkun, immortal emperor, breathed easy. Yi Mo's attitude to Miquan, immortal emperor, set his heart. Yi Mo didn't seem like the rumored unreasonable madman. Although Yi Mo was polite, he didn't say this was over. Clearly he wanted compensation. In that case it was easy. Chani didn't need Shinkun, immortal emperor, to remind her, and she quickly bowed. Chani greets sect leader Yi. Tell me the process. Yi Mo nodded and said, but didn't let her sit down. Too many people saw this. Even if Chani didn't say it, Yi Mo would find out. Chani was very honest and said the 5 people who attacked the defense formation. Other than her, there was Moon City Emperor Sect Li He and Tong Li, Sengyu Emperor Sect Yuan Kuei, and Jiuqian Emperor Sect Ling Xia. Shinkun, immortal emperor, saw Yi Mo was very calm and didn't seem to intend to act out, so he saluted with his fists again. Sect leader Yi, this is my sect members doing injustice. Chani is our core disciple. If sect leader Yi wants to punish her, I have nothing to say. Yi Mo waved his hand. Seeing this, Shinkun, immortal emperor, was more assured. In order to show my apology, after Secret Realm closes, we will send some of our level 9 immortal spirit herb to sect leader Yi. Clearly he knew that Yi Mo was collecting level 9 immortal spirit herb. Yi Mo smiled. No need to give me for free. I will pay immortal crystals for them. I will take them no matter how much you have. This was quite some big words, but Shinkun, immortal emperor, didn't doubt it at all. Yi Mo got 10 billion crystals from Xianlan Merchant Association. Plus, he heard from other immortal emperors that Yi Mo got a few hundred extreme-grade immortal ranges. No one in the immortal realm would be more wealthy than Yi Mo. Yi Mo's magnanimity gained a good impression of Shinkun, immortal emperor, and the conversation became great. Brother Shinkun, theoretically, the secret realm should be opened. How come it's still closed now? Yi Mo asked. Miquan, immortal emperor, said. Wei Feng, immortal emperor, went to check. It said that the secret realm is open but was locked up from the inside by someone. The secret realm is locked from the inside? Yi Mo asked in shock. Shinkun immediately answered. That's right. A level 9 immortal formation Grand Master also believes the secret realm is locked up from the inside. It's probably someone who didn't come out from last time. Someone stayed in the secret realm for more than 10,000 years. Before Yi Mo could ask, Shadowless called again. Moon City Emperor Sect Tongjin, immortal emperor, is here to visit. Tongjin, immortal emperor, was very skinny, but he looked amicable. There were 2 immortal kings behind him. Yi Mo knew one of them, and that was Li He. The other one was probably Tongli. Tongjin, immortal emperor, was very skinny, but he looked amicable. There were 2 immortal kings behind him. Yi Mo knew one of them, and that was Li He. The other one was probably Tongli. Sect Leader Yi, I'm Moon City Emperor Sect Tongjun Immortal Emperor. I'm extremely embarrassed here today that I'm slow. My sect members are ignorant and arrogant. They dare to destroy Sect Leader Ye's formation. Tongjun Immortal Emperor immediately saluted with his fists. Emo smiled. Tongjun Immortal Emperor, please have a seat. What does Sect Leader Yi mean? Tongjun Immortal Emperor sat down and asked. Li He and Tongli were the elite members of his sect. Of course he didn't want them to be beaten by Emo. Emo waved his hand. Small matters, even if Brother Tongjun didn't come, I wouldn't keep it in mind. Tongjun Immortal Emperor wasn't going to believe this. He was certain if he didn't come, things wouldn't be so simple, but he still saluted with his fists. My sect member Li He is unmannered and offended your sect members at the title status square. That's in the past, plus, Li He compensated a flame. So I didn't take it to heart. Yemo's words made Tongjun Immortal Emperor more anxious. If it wasn't that Gonghua Heaven was too far, Moon City Emperor's sect might even go up looking for trouble. Of course, they wouldn't go now. He didn't dare to keep wasting him and quickly sound transmission Shinkun Immortal Emperor. When he knew that Yemo wanted level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb, he breathed easy. Indeed, when Tongjun Immortal Emperor said he would give some level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb to Yemo for free, she showed his magnanimity, and said he would buy them. Yemo knew that Li He destroying his formation was because he hated MOU Immortal Sect, but his level was completely different to him now. But of course, if Tongjun Immortal Emperor didn't come for compensation, then don't blame him. After the problem was resolved, their discussion became quite happy. After a while, Sangyu Emperor Sect sent someone over. 4 of the 5 who attacked Yemo's formation came. They were all immortal emperors from the sect. The only one who didn't come was Jiao Qian Emperor Sect. Di Wenqing didn't attack, but he ordered it. They also have a sect member called Ling Xia who attacked. Even when Yemo sent the guests off, the Jiao Qian Emperor Sect didn't send someone over. Outside the Jiahui secret realm, the Jiao Qian Emperor Sect came late, but their staying grounds was a rather good place. In the temporary cultivation home, a long-bearded old man sat at the top. Martial Ancestor, Nanluo Emperor Sect, Sengyu Emperor Sect, Moon City Emperor Sect has all been to Yemo. Out of the 5 immortal kings who attacked Yemo's formation, only the one from our sect hasn't gone. A white-skinned immortal monarch middle stage bowed and reported. I've seen the battle between Yemo and Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. I'm not scared of that Yemo. Of course we're not scared of that MOU Immortal Sect. I'm already showing him face by not taking his land. As for apologizing to a low heaven domain sect, we can't afford to lose that face. The long-bearded old man signaled the immortal monarch to step back. After the immortal monarch stepped back, the long-bearded immortal emperor said to Di Wenqing. Wenqing, we're not scared of the small MOU Immortal Sect, but as the number 1 disciple of our sect, an immortal king with boundless future, what you did wasn't appropriate. Yes, Martial Ancestor, I understand. Di Wenqing quickly bowed. You understand, so tell me what part you did wrong? The long-bearded immortal emperor stared at Di Wenqing and asked heavily. Di Wenqing answered. I shouldn't have destroyed Yemo's formation. The long-bearded immortal emperor sneered. Wrong. There's no problem with you destroying it, but the problem is you not finding an excuse to destroy it. At least find an excuse that others can see and then destroy it. The second mistake you made is why keep around you those who won't support you wholeheartedly? Di Wenqing immediately understood his martial ancestor. If he found a reason to destroy Yemo's land and Yemo came back to rage, then they could join up with other immortal emperors to attack Yemo. The latter part meant that he should keep people who would support him no matter what. Not people who went to apologize to Yemo after the incident occurred. But no one was stupid. They knew that if Yemo came looking for trouble, then as long as they didn't go to Jiao Qian Emperor Sect, then the immortal emperors from there wouldn't help. Seeing Yemo send out a few immortal emperors and the sect members they brought in weren't missing, the people watching knew there was no show to watch. But no one here was dumb. They could see that Jiao Qian Emperor Sect didn't come. This meant that there was still something to watch. Emo didn't even show face to Wei Feng Grand Emperor. If he would give Jiu Qian Emperor's sect face, no one would believe it. People were just wondering if Emo would go up to Jiu Qian Emperor's sect or if they would go to Emo. When they saw Emo starting to organize his cultivation home and put up the sign that other people sent over, they knew Emo was probably not going to attack Jiu Qian Emperor's sect. Just when Emo organized his cultivation home, Xingren Immortal Emperor came over. There was a purple-robed woman behind him. It was Ethereal Immortal Pond Miyun. Sect leader Yi, you're back quick. Xingren Immortal Emperor saw Emo and smiled while saluting with his fists. Please come in. Emo didn't know why Miyun was with Xingren, but he invited the two in. Sorry, Sect leader Yi. I went to check the secret realm entrance, and when I came back I heard your land was broken. I wasn't able to help. Xingren Immortal Emperor said. Emo waved his hand. He didn't care that much at all. He then turned to Miyun. Saint Miyun, you have business with me? Miyun quickly took out an invitation letter with flower aromas. Sect leader Yi, half a year later there will be an immortal fruit festival at our ethereal immortal pond. Please come attend, Sect leader Yi. Miyun was anxious. She knew that if Emo didn't want to go, then he wouldn't go no matter what she said. What she didn't expect was that Emo took it without hesitation and laughed. Thank you for your invitation, Emo will come on time. Seeing this, Miyun rejoiced and quickly saluted with her fists. Thank you, Sect leader Yi. Miyun won't disturb your conversation with Xingren Immortal Emperor. I'll be leaving first. Haha, congratulations on getting another beautiful woman, Sect leader Yi. Xingren Immortal Emperor laughed, making Miyun leave with a blushed face. She really wanted to listen to what Emo thought, but she knew she couldn't keep staying here. Emo smiled and didn't explain. He had a purpose going to Ethereal Immortal Pond, of course. There was a Ethereal Immortal Well there, and he saw a middle-aged man locked up in Spirit Sense Net. That guy was very powerful and tried to ambush him. Emo believed his power now was enough to take him on, so he wanted to go ask that guy about Yellow Middle Plum. He got a Yellow Middle Plum branch, but it grew very slowly. Even with small ginseng taking care of it, it was just kept alive. That guy probably knew where the real Yellow Middle Plum was. He also wanted to ask that guy about the Divine Emperor battle. Haha, what business does Brother Xingren have with me? Emo asked. Sect leader Yi, since you could break free from that palace, you're probably a top-grade immortal formation master, right? The secret realm is locked from the inside and all immortal formation masters who could go went, but no one is able to open it. Emo understood what he meant and got up. I wanted to go see, let's go together. When Emo and Xingren Immortal Emperor came over, there were already more than 10 immortal emperors. Most of them were emperor sect elders. Some immortal emperors who knew Emo came to greet him, but a few immortal emperors who stood next to Wei Feng Immortal Emperor acted as though they didn't see him. When Emo and Xingren Immortal Emperor came over, there were already more than 10 immortal emperors. Most of them were emperor sect elders. Some immortal emperors who knew Emo came to greet him, but a few immortal emperors who stood next to Wei Feng Immortal Emperor acted as though they didn't see him. The entrance to the secret realm was revealed, but Emo could tell people couldn't go in because it was indeed locked from the inside. If we can't break the formation in a few days, we're planning to force our way in. However, if we do that, we might do damage to the entrance and cause it to disappear forever. One might never be able to come in again. That way, it would be a loss for the entire Grand Heaven domain. Xingren Immortal Emperor saw Emo was checking the entrance carefully and come over to say. Emo nodded before saying loudly, Immortal Emperors, I might be able to break this formation. You can break this counter-locking formation by not forcing it open? Wei Feng Immortal Emperor asked in shock. You don't have to believe me, but if it wasn't for everyone I really wouldn't do this. If I don't have some capabilities, would I be able to leave that palace alone? Emo said plainly. I believe you, how are you going to break it? Wei Feng Immortal Emperor reacted and said. Emo had too many secrets. If it wasn't that he couldn't catch Emo, he would have taken Emo away for dissection. Not just Wei Feng Immortal Emperor but the other immortal emperors surrounded over quickly. Jacques Hui's secret realm's immortal spirit herb concerned the development of most sects in the nearby period. Breaking this formation would be very exhausting on me and I need 2 to 3 days. Since I'm buying immortal spirit herb here, it's right for me to use some effort and top-grade materials. But I want to buy better immortal spirit herbs. My request isn't high. If any sect has any immortal spirit herb I want, I must have priority rights in buying. Of course, if someone pays a higher price than me, then never mind. Yemo saw this formation, and although he wouldn't be able to solve it immediately, he had some confidence. He learned from Yi's void stares some things he didn't know before. He believed that with just 2 or 3 days, he would be able to break this formation. I can agree to your request, but you need to give a number. If you want to buy all the immortal spirit herbs. Yemo interrupted Wei Feng Immortal Emperor before he finished. You're wrong, I just want one. One? Yemo's words surprised all immortal emperors. Even Wei Feng Immortal Emperor didn't understand what Yemo meant. Yemo was here completely for buying top-level immortal spirit herbs. Just getting priority for one was too strange. That's right, I just want priority buying one. As for the rest, there would be people sending to my stall to sell to me. Yemo said definitely. The Jacques Hui secret realm opened once every 10,000 years and the opening time was very short, just 2 months. The secret realm was huge and there were top-level immortal materials coming out every time. Yemo wanted buying priority in case something like small ginseng came out. If such thing really came out, he would buy it without hesitation. This was for small ginseng, as he was still missing an arm. Yemo set up a barrier formation to study the formation. Other immortal emperors could only retreat. He wasn't going to let others see him using 3-birth chant to derive things. He indeed learned something from Yi's void stares, and he could use these things to derive things from another angle. Yemo thought he would need 2 or 3 days, but after just 1 day, he completely understood this counter-locking formation. At the same time, he knew his formation skills broke through to level 8. Yemo knew his level 8 immortal formation skills were probably better than some level 9 immortal formation grandmasters. His formation heritage was completely based on him deriving other formations. In that void palace, his formation skills went through a qualitative change, forming a complete system. Yemo scanned his spirit sense in and found that there was indeed restriction for this secret realm. Those above Immortal King couldn't go in at all. Yemo didn't leave after deriving this formation. He kept making formation flags and set them up before making tens of thousands of jade cards. After all these were done, 3 days happened to pass. How is it? As soon as Yemo opened up his barrier formation, a few immortal emperors asked desperately. Yemo pointed at the open door and said, "Look! You really broke the counter-locking formation?" Those immortal emperors saw the open secret realm entrance. The extremely dense immortal spirit chi from inside were seeping out. This clearly meant that the formation was broken. Yemo said with a pity, "I broke the formation indeed, but people may need to wait 2 months till they can go in." What? Nong Yen Immortal Emperor asked in shock. Wouldn't the secret realm close after 2 months? Yemo nodded. Yes, I thought that after 2 months, the secret realm would be closed. What's the point of going in? So I thought of a temporary method. I made a formation breaking jade card. Those with this jade card can go in. After Yemo finished, all the immortal emperors looked at Yemo. No one was stupid here. The formation was broken, why would one need jade cards to go in? Wei Feng Immortal Emperor suppressed his fury and said coldly, Yemo, we already agreed to a condition. What are you trying to do by scamming us with jade cards? Do you think you're the only smart one out of all these immortal emperors here? Yemo frowned and said unhappily, Wei Feng Immortal Emperor, what do you mean? Since when was I scamming? I tried so hard to break the formation for everyone, and this is how you thank me? Sect Leader Yi, Wei Feng Grand Emperor means that you shouldn't use jade cards to ask for more benefits. One Immortal Emperor primary stage helped Wei Feng Immortal Emperor. Yemo sneered. You're really thinking narrow-mindedly. I said I made jade cards forever. Since when did I saw I was collecting payment for them? I meant to give these jade cards to everyone for free. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, how are you so narrow-minded? How did you become the Qing Wei Heaven Lord? I really don't understand. You. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, was lost for words. He was extremely annoyed, but he couldn't argue at all. However, he would never believe Yemo was so generous, but he still couldn't think of why Yemo would do this. Sect Leader Yi, you're really giving out jade cards for free? That Immortal Emperor who helped Wei Feng asked again. Yemo said furiously. The secret realm opens only once every 10,000 years. Many sects rest their hopes on this. I've only downed something insignificant. What's the point of you asking me this again and again? Do you want to use it to reap benefits? I'm telling you, I will definitely not allow this. I will give out the jade cards for free. No one can harvest profits from this. Yemo said righteously. Those immortal emperors who didn't know Yemo thought he was really righteous, or Yemo felt he offended too many people and were using this to ease up tension. But those who truly knew Yemo's character felt there was definitely some problem here. Everyone, the Jacques secret realm entrance is now open. Those who want to go in, please go in an orderly fashion. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor's words made those desperate immortals excited. The scene was on fire and immortals all rushed towards the entrance of the secret realm. Quite some of them thanked the immortal emperors who opened the secret realm. Everyone, the Jacques secret realm entrance is now open. Those who want to go in, please go in an orderly fashion. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor's words made those desperate immortals excited. The scene was on fire and immortals all rushed towards the entrance of the secret realm. Quite some of them thanked the immortal emperors who opened the secret realm. Why isn't my brother back? Tang Beiwei asked in confusion. Shadowless stretched his wings and said, Don't worry, boss must be at the entrance there because there's benefits to reap. Otherwise, he would be back already. I'll take you to see. When Tang Beiwei and Shadowless came to the entrance, it was filled with people. Move aside, the entrance is definitely opened by my boss. Hurry up and let us in. Shadowless saw that he couldn't squeeze in and yelled. He would have flown over if there wasn't sky restrictions. A mere animal dares to be so cocky. The formation is clearly opened by Master Wei Feng and more than 10 immortal emperors together. A contemptuous voice said. Who are you? How do you know I'm bluffing? Shadowless rebuked. He loved it when people argued back. Listen up, the king is Jiu Qian Emperor Sect Ling Xia Immortal King. There are so many immortal emperor masters here, yet you're saying a mere immortal king can break the formation. How is that not bluffing? This voice said with even more dominance. Her martial ancestor gave her the confidence to not fear MOU Immortal Sect. Shadowless didn't know if this secret realm was opened by Yemo or not, and now that Ling Xia said this, he really didn't have any confidence. But she knew from Ling Xia's name that she was one of the people who attacked Yemo's formation and didn't go apologize. No wonder she was this cocky. Jiu Qian Emperor Sect didn't fear Yemo at all, and thus didn't go apologize. Seeing this person to be a man but had the face of a woman, Shadowless showed a sly smile. Seeing that you're dressed up as a woman, I won't take things seriously with you. I can be tolerating with women. Shadowless laughed. Ling Xia Immortal King's face went back. He hated when people said he looked like a woman. If he knew that the Immortal King title the tablet would give him was Ling Xia Immortal King, he would rather not get it. Bullshit, the king is a man, how can I allow an animal to insult me? Ling Xia was furious. If it wasn't that his martial ancestor said to let Yemo act cocky for a few days, he would have started fighting now. Shadowless yawned and ignored Ling Xia Immortal King. Then he turned to the people around him and said, Everyone, do you think I'm cute? Do you think I look like a female? I'm going to change my name to Little Flower Immortal King. Wait, Little Flower Immortal King Beast. I'm an animal anyways. A male animal using a female woman's king title is fine. Are you asking to die? Ling Xia Immortal King couldn't hold in his fury anymore and released his magic artifact. But before his magic artifact attacked, Di Wenqing yelled from behind. Stop! Ling Xia, Immortal King, immediately calmed down. He was shocked that he was worse than an animal. The martial ancestor clearly said that Di Wenqing's mistake wasn't the action of breaking Yi Mo's formation, but not finding a reason for it. Now, he made the same mistake. Instead, he fell into Shadowless' trap and almost attacked. The next moment, he felt his martial ancestor's serious warning spirit sense scan over, and immediately shivered. Shadowless was very disappointed seeing that Ling Xia, Immortal King, was stopped. His plan almost succeeded. If he succeeded, then even if he was going against the rules his boss said, he would take out Ling Xia, Immortal King. The ruckus here was so huge. Many immortal emperors saw this, and so did Yi Mo. Seeing Ling Xia, Immortal King, retreat, Yi Mo felt it was a pity. He was prepared to fight with the immortal emperor from Jiu He Emperor sect as soon as Shadowless ate Ling Xia, Immortal King. He quite approved of Shadowless tricking Ling Xia to attack. The entrance cards to the secret realm were all in his hands. He wasn't afraid of people not supporting him. Sect Leader Yi, open the secret realm and let people in. Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, also felt pity that Shadowless didn't eat Ling Xia, Immortal King. If Shadowless did that, then Ji Zong, Immortal Emperor, would probably fight Yi Mo. That way, he could say that Yi Mo was too cocky, and then attack in fury. With 2 Immortal Emperor peak stages, even if he can't kill Yi Mo, he would make Yi Mo heavily injured. Since there was no battle, he couldn't bring down his face to ask to join up with Ji Zong, Immortal Emperor. If that happened, news would spread. Wei Feng cared about his reputation. Even though the gain up on Wushuang, Immortal Emperor, was all planned by him, he never mentioned to attack Wushuang, Immortal Emperor, from the beginning to the end. Of course. Yi Mo smiled. How could he give all the glory to Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor? Seeing everyone come up here, Yi Mo flew to the air and saluted with his fists. Everyone please calm down. Everyone here are the elites of the immortal realm, so I'll say a few simple words. Seeing Yi Mo come out to talk, Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, sighed. He knew it was impossible to deny Yi Mo's work now. Many people looked at Yi Mo in confusion, not knowing why a mere low heaven domain sect leader could speak when Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor, was here. This secret realm entrance was locked from the inside, and it was very hard to open. If I didn't see a similar formation in an ancient text, I wouldn't be able to open it too. Yi Mo's words immediately caused some ruckus. People didn't expect that this formation was really opened up by Yi Mo. Shadowless laughed. I said boss opened his formation before, but some insolent fools didn't believe me and called me arrogant. Pfft. By the way, what was the saying you taught me before, Beiwei? Something long, something short? I forgot about it. Long hair, short insights. Tang Beiwei said in a speechless tone. Such saying didn't work in the immortal realm. She didn't believe Shadowless forgot it. Shadowless said in realization. Oh, that's right, long hair, short insights. Ling Xia, Immortal King's face was very bad. He had very long hair. He didn't expect this formation was really opened by Yi Mo. Yi Mo pressed with his hand. Of course, opening this formation is inseparable with all the immortal emperors here. Without all the immortal emperor powerful beings here finding the door and removing the outside barrier, I wouldn't be able to open it so quickly. As soon as Yi Mo said this, the nearby immortal emperors' faces looked much better. After all, they did help. Seeing everyone knew that he helped, Yi Mo took out a jade card and said, Because this formation is removed, but it needs to wait for 2 months. However, by then the secret realm would have closed, there's no point anymore. So I thought of a way. I made tens of thousands of formation-breaking jade cards. One only needs this jade card to go in. After going in, the jade card would crack. Thank you, Sect Leader Yi. The crowd replied in unison. Okay, I'm standing at the entrance now. Each time, 100 people will go in. I will send the jade card to your hands. Yi Mo said, and then grabbed a bunch of cards and added. By the way, I forgot to tell everyone I'm a level 8 Immortal Pill Grand Master. After 2 months, I will be using Immortal Pills and Immortal Crystals to exchange for Immortal Spirit Herbs. If you have Immortal Spirit Herbs, You can exchange for any pill below level 9 from me. If the words Yemo said before just made people grateful and want to go in quicker than what Yemo said after dropped a bombshell amongst the crowd. Although Yemo put up a sign before, there were so many merchant associations buying immortal spirit herb. Who would look at all the signs? If the words Yemo said before just made people grateful and want to go in quicker than what Yemo said after dropped a bombshell amongst the crowd. Although Yemo put up a sign before, there were so many merchant associations buying immortal spirit herb. Who would look at all the signs? In reality, the hardest things to get in the immortal realm wasn't immortal spirit herb. High-level ones were rare, but they were attainable. For immortals, the hardest to get was high-level immortal pills. Now that Yemo said to use immortal pill to exchange for immortal spirit herbs, it immediately lit up the hearts of those great eternity immortal and immortal kings. They wanted to go in immediately and collect immortal spirit herbs like crazy in exchange for immortal pills with Yemo. The nearby sects and some merchant associations could only shake their heads. Although some of them brought level 8 immortal pill Grand Masters, they couldn't advertise openly nor could they claim to exchange any pill below level 9. Who could guarantee 100% pill's success rate? Regardless, the first batch of people had charged into the secret realm. Yemo threw the 100 jade cards perfectly into their hands. As the more batches came, Yemo threw them out precisely. In a short time, a few thousand people have gone in. Yemo, why doesn't our Jiuqian Emperor sect members have jade cards? Jizong Immortal Emperor saw this and went up to ask in fury. Yemo stopped giving out cards and said plainly, I don't dare to give it to you. Seeing this, Jizong Immortal Emperor said coldly, What don't you dare? If I wanted to find you, I would have long gone. How can I wait till now? If I didn't go find you, it means I don't care about that. This Jizong Immortal Emperor was really full of himself. Yemo said in contempt, You don't care, but I care. My MOU Immortal Sect is a famous sect, and your sect members destroyed my formation. Does the king need to make jade cards to suck up to you? I'm not that low. Okay, the emperor shall see if you're that low. Jizong Immortal Emperor was an Immortal Emperor peak stage, and he was pointed at the nose by an Immortal King middle stage like this. How could he resist it? Yemo saluted with his fists to everyone. Everyone look, I'm not the one starting trouble and wasting people's time from going in. Someone thinks he's almighty and wants to teach me a lesson. But I happen to not be scared of such people. He wants to teach me a lesson, I'll take it. Brother Jizong, stop. Calm down, Jizong Immortal Emperor. Jizong. Yemo didn't even release his Zisu, and there were endless voices of persuasion. Clearly, the secret realm has opened, and if Yemo started fighting with Jizong Immortal Emperor, how would the rest of the people go in? If Yemo was weak and Jizong Immortal Emperor could kill him easily, then never mind, but Yemo was very powerful. The fight wouldn't end quickly. Seeing this, Jizong Immortal Emperor's face sunk. He knew that even if they fought, no one would probably want to help him. Realizing this, Jizong Immortal Emperor sneered. What do you want? Some Immortal Emperors realized that there were at least 2 reasons why Yemo made these cards. One was for people to recognize his work, and second was to teach Jiuqian Emperor sect a lesson. Whether there was more motives were uncertain. What do I want? Whoever touched my formation, send him over. Yemo sneered and then yelled at Shadowless. Shadowless, get ready to eat. Shadowless ran over, jiggling his butt while drooling and staring at Ling Xia Immortal King. Shadowless's actions made Ling Xia Immortal King and Jizong Immortal Emperor shake with fury. Moon City Emperor Sek Tongjun Immortal Emperor thought to himself, one really couldn't offend Yemo indeed. It has only been this long, and revenge came. Everyone realized, no wonder Yemo didn't go look for trouble before. Yemo indeed wanted to put up the look that he wasn't someone to be messed with. Otherwise, these things would only happen again and again. Keep dreaming. Jizong Immortal Emperor yelled and then ignored people's persuasion. A golden bow appeared in his hands, and the next moment, a golden bone arrow appeared too. Before the bow was drawn, that terrifying heaven and earth tearing chi already came. Emo felt he was enveloped in extreme danger. Every inch of his skin was tingling. It was as though he might die to the bow and arrow at any time. Shadowless, take Beiwei away. At the same time, Emo released Su and Octagonal Cauldron. He had repaired Octagonal Cauldron to extreme grade immortal artifact, but it still wasn't. Golden Bow of Immortal Extermination. A few immortal emperors called out in shock and terror. Clearly this bow was very famous. That's right, it's Golden Bow of Immortal Extermination. Shizong Immortal Emperor sneered. He put the arrow on the bow and drew it open. The nearby 1000 km of space was drawn into the bow. It was as though Shizong didn't draw open the bow but the entire heavens. He was gathering all the lethal force of space into a single point. The nearby space became dark and even the clear sun was blocked by dark clouds. People fled as far away as possible. Emo's face was very serious. His nearby space was completely bound by this golden bow of immortal extermination. If he didn't have Spirit Sense Domain and Immortal Monarch Domain, he wouldn't even be able to move. Emo knew he couldn't dodge this arrow. He was thinking about after the arrow was shot, he would make Shizong Immortal Emperor eat it even if he got injured. Even if he used How Heaven Drum, he wouldn't care. Emo didn't want to use How Heaven Drum unless he had no choice. Brother Shizong, you can't shoot this arrow. This is the entrance to the secret realm. Your arrow will destroy the nearby space and cause the secret realm to disappear. Immortal Emperors said desperately on the side. Yeah, Brother Shizong, there are so many Immortal King disciples, they're all going to die. Shizong Immortal Emperor didn't care at all. He had always been very dominant in the immortal realm. Even the few Grand Emperors would show him face. It was because of his pride that he wouldn't apologize to a mere immortal king. He felt he was giving Emo great face by not looking for his trouble. Yet Emo dared to ridicule him. To him, this was stepping on his honor. If he let it go so easily, would he assert his dominance in the future? Wei Feng Immortal Emperor didn't persuade. He had decided that the moment the arrow shot Emo he would attack. He wasn't going to leave Emo to Shizong Immortal Emperor. Emo definitely had a lot of secrets. He was planning to take Emo out slowly before. Seeing that no one could persuade Shizong Immortal Emperor, the rest of the Immortal Emperors knew things were set, so they retreated. Those great Eternity Immortals and Immortal Kings had long fled. Shadowless handed Tang Beiwei to Mi-Yun and came back. He felt this terrifying power. It wasn't that Shizong Immortal Emperor was powerful, but the bow was too terrifying. Emo stared at the bow and extended his Spirit Sense Domain and Domain into a straight line. The arrow wasn't shot, it was drawing lethal force but also searching for his opening. If he was distracted a little bit, that bow would pierce him. In this lifeless space and time, Emo cleared his mind instead. There was nothing else in his eyes other than the bone arrow, the golden bone arrow. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.